From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
It's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
What's going on?
Father's Day weekend.
Big plans or what? No plans.
It's a lot of them are weather dependent, but
Yeah.
you know, what are you gonna do?
I already gave my dad his Father's Day gift.
What'd you
Oh,
give
nice.
him?
A bottle of
Maury.
beer that passed through the Stanley Cup.
Excuse me.
It's a bottle of beer
Okay.
that they poured into the Stanley Cup and then into the bottle.
Ew, gross.
So that you
Ew.
could so that
Ugh.
so that dads could drink from the cup.
Ugh.
That's
Ugh.
disgusting.
Do you know what? Do you know what's gone on in that cup over the years?
Yeah.
But what dad
Like
wouldn't
not
wanna
and not
do that?
modern times where like they really play up the fact that the cup has a protector. That dude with the white gloves that walks around with it. I mean, like in the back in the day, what went on inside that cup?
But what dad wouldn't celebrate knowing that?
I don't know. I
No,
don't know.
you have to think about when players get the
You should
get
take
the
like.
cup.
Do you take like? Does on the cap when you undo the beer, right?
Yeah.
When you lift up the cap, is there a penicillin shot in there that you swallow this and then drink the beer?
Yeah.
No, bro. There's no way.
Don't you remember, like last summer,
no way.
one of the players, whoever won the Stanley Cup last year,
Yeah.
one of the players was being called out because they had like this big party on a beach in Florida.
Yeah.
And like so many people were there with the Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. My dad seemed really proud to drink this. He must know all this, and he was really happy.
Yeah.
He
Like
even
the
said,
amount, okay,
Yeah, did
real
you-
talk.
did
The
you see
amount of
those-
ass that's been through that
Bruh,
cup, in
bruh.
that cup.
Then you see you saw Ovechkin in Vegas with that cup, right?
Oh my god!
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Like
there
you
it
think he was like, cool, like, listen, guys, respect the cup,
is. Yeah, no. How much DNA is in that cup?
bro. It's a lot. There's a
Come on.
yeah. There's a lot.
So you gave your dad beer that was
and then he
poured-
was like, "I'm going to keep this bottle and show it off to all my pals."
Oh, jeez. Why'd you give it
Sully?
to him early?
What's that?
Why'd you give it to him early?
Because I was there, so I wanted to like
Are
drink.
you going to
some
see
of
him
it.
this weekend?
Okay, so maybe I should. I drank some of it with him, so I stole some of the gift.
Oh wow. You and your dad shared a beer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When's the last time you guys shared a beer together?
Not since before his heart surgery. He's not supposed to have a full bottle.
That's
of beer.
right. Did you give your dad say he's not even supposed to drink beer, is
No,
he?
not at all.
Oh yeah, good for you. Yeah, good Father's Day.
Yeah. Way to pay attention.
Yeah, great Father's Day.
You're horrible.
probably-
like you are the one person.
Frank's trying his best to stay on track.
I know.
Listen to what the doctors say. Maury's showing up with Stanley Cup beer. Right? Like, you know.
And who knows what's been in that cup,
Right? Yeah.
Champagne, beer, ass, cocaine. Right? Your dad's
Happy
poor
Father's
heart.
Day.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
Saw a
Well,
picture
days.
of a video of Maury. Come in here for a sec, Maury.
Saw a picture of Maury.
No, like a video, and Maury was in a tank
Wait, I
top.
don't know.
He was in a
What?
tank top. It was very, like, it threw me off.
Huh?
Seeing Maury in a tank top.
I looked awful.
What picture was this?
I hate
It's a
this.
video. It's a video of Maury and his dad. Look at this. Here, look at Maury in it. Look at Maury in a tank top. It's weird, right? It's weird to see somebody in a tank top you've never seen in a tank top before.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that? Did you run out of laundry?
No,
Oh,
like I
wow.
thought, like I found this tank top in the closet. We're cleaning out all our closets, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I had no idea I had
Happy
a tank
Pride.
top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let me try. I'll wear this.
Yeah.
Standing up, it looks great.
Right.
Sitting down,
Do you
wow.
not find though? Because I'm totally fine with tank tops, right?
Yeah.
But I always found years ago, going out of the house in a tank top is like it's baby steps, right? So
course.
like you have to first purchase a tank top,
Yeah.
right? Which is like step one because we're so used to t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I don't know why this 6 inches gives us all the security in the world of a sleeve, where you take that off and suddenly you're like, oh my god, I feel nude, right?
Yeah.
You see people in tank tops all the time, right? Growing up, massive fan, Hulkamania, running wild.
Yeah.
And then, so the first step is to actually buy a tank top. Then you get comfortable in the tank top in your own home.
Mm-hmm.
I find that before you leave the house in a tank top, you have to get comfortable in your own home in a tank
absolutely.
top.
Stages.
Yeah, stages, baby steps. You walk around, you see yourself in the mirror, you get
I skipped
used to
all
it.
those steps.
You skipped all those steps because going out of the house in a tank top is like the final step, and you are not at final step yet.
No, I skipped all the first 5 steps.
No, but you are still not at the final step.
No.
Because what you did, going out of the house, you didn't go out of the house in public.
No, but let me
you
tell
went
you,
out of the
hold
house
on.
and surrounded yourself by family.
Yes, this was a pool day shirt.
Right.
I did not know, like, let's do this video. I didn't know I was going to do this video, and then I'm like, well, I love what we said in the video,
Right.
so I'm hoping everyone will watch it with their eyes closed.
No, was Matthew there? At your
Yeah,
dad's place?
he shot the
okay.
video.
What did he say about?
Then said you should have wore a different shirt.
Really?
I'm like, well, why wouldn't you have said that then?
But you don't think that what? So it.
But he saw you like in the condo at home, right?
No, because I put the shirt in the bag.
Oh, right.
Oh, you put the tank top. So you wore something else before you left the condo.
Right. Then, when I
Okay.
got out of the pool, I put the tank top on, and then I drove home in the tank top, went for the dog walk in the tank top, then saw the video of me in the tank top.
Okay. And how do you feel about it? Because you are not a tank top
I'm
person.
never going to wear a tank top ever again.
Right.
Ever.
And
Ever.
Why? What do you feel?
I feel
when
largesse.
Okay.
Largesse. What does
What does
that
that
mean?
mean?
Like, the tank top doesn't sit well. For some reason, any other T-shirt, hold back your laughter, makes me look normal, like not as big down below in the belly area.
Okay.
Tank tops, for some reason, when you sit down in a tank top, it squishes everything in.
Okay, but it's not like it's a super tight tank top. But
Yeah.
it's interesting to me
No,
more.
it's
like,
a
here's-
large.
But here's what I find interesting. Is that you wore a tank top and you felt insecure in a tank top, like a lot of people do feel insecure in a tank top. But the part of wearing a tank top that made you feel insecure wasn't the exposed arms; it was the parts that were covered.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Yeah. No, I know. Like, I'm fine with my shoulders and my back hair. I don't care. Whatever.
Oh wow.
Again, baby steps, right? It's baby steps to get used to the tank top. You can't just go for it.
No.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I watched Luca yesterday.
Oh, how is it on Disney
So
Plus?
good. So
yeah.
good. Maury, come on in here. Because I got to ask you, because
We didn't watch it yet.
the initial reaction to Luca before anybody had seen it
Yeah.
was that it was the gayest Pixar movie that they've done.
Oh, I could see that.
And then the director came out to say, no, this is not being derogatory or trying to distance himself from the fact that these two kids, that it's referencing what it's like coming out and the reaction to your family and everything else. But he had said what this is that period of youthful friendship before girls become a thing. Right. So
Sure.
it's that time when you're a young boy where you can develop these sort of friendships where they're your everything, but before all the other distractions in life. It's that very, very, very small period.
I guess I could see what they're
life.
talking about, how the metaphor, like you're coming out of the water, the fear of coming out of the water, and how, it's scary out there, but then you find out it's so much better when you're out of there.
Yeah, no, and geez, like if the director and the writer, weren't trying to be overtly gay with Luca, the animators sure put a lot of stuff in there to make you think that it was
they're riding their bike together.
Oh, the Vespa stuff. But it is an incredibly sweet story. You didn't think gay.
I thought two amazing friends who had something nobody will ever have.
Right. But I guess it's the fact that they walk into a town, people are horrified of the thing that they actually are, and they
But
find
I didn't think any of this
each
till you
other.
just told me now.
No, I know, but yeah, listen,
Well, now I got to go watch it for a third time.
but it's an incredibly sweet movie. And my take on that stuff is and if you look at Luca and you see gay, you see it as a sort of coming out story. I think that's fine. Right? 100%. Identify with what you want to identify with.
Yeah.
No problem. But
As long as you love it.
As long as you love it. Yeah. But I also think that looking at Luca and saying that it is a story of coming out is the reason why young boys don't tell their friends that they love them.
Yeah.
It's the reason that young boys don't develop those sort of deep friendships. It's because if you have that kind of connection, people immediately label you gay, right? Like that's part of the reason.
What else would you call it?
Because what else would you call it, right?
You know,
so you can look at Luca any way you want to look at Luca, and if you can identify with it, I think it's fine. I don't think it needs to be one thing or the other, but I also don't think that it should dissuade people from expressing those feelings
But
for
isn't that
friends.
the definition of an amazing movie when you can find so many layers to it?
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's
It wasn't
really
until
good.
within the past 5 years that I started telling a lot of my homies, like my male friends, that I love them.
Right.
Like if we're hanging out and we all part ways,
Yeah.
brother, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't until like within the
told me
last 5 years.
Look at Maury.
What? I tell Roz all the time. I tell Shem all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
You gonna hit him with that during Pride Month, bro?
After we talked about Luca?
after we talked about Luca and how beautiful it was.
Sorry, dog. I'll hit you next week.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm going through these two stories here. So you can now, there's an app called Swimply.
Ooh, I love apps. Okay.
Don't download it.
Why?
You don't need it. Because it's an app, like it works just like Airbnb does, only it allows you to rent somebody's swimming pool.
Oh, Swimply?
Yeah, in their backyard.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Dog.
And this like took off apparently during the pandemic.
Well, yeah.
Because you can rent somebody's pool. And if you're the pool owner, you can charge whatever you want per hour. You can set up your minimum hours. But then people come out to rent your pool.
How genius is this?
And I guess that you have to give them access to like the bathroom and stuff like that. And then there's another guy in Toronto who is renting his balcony in his condo
what?
for $25 an hour so people can go up and take Insta pics.
But what?
What's so
was his
special
view
about
nice?
this?
It's a 60th floor, beautiful view, CN Tower, skyline, everything else.
So all the touristy stuff that you want to see,
Right.
usually from the ground, but you get to see it high up.
Now, am I like a pessimist skeptic thinking that this is all just a ruse for guys to get girls?
Oh, that's the first place.
Right?
my
Like,
head
why
went.
else would somebody rent their balcony for Instagram pics
To make
for people?
money.
Like, who does he think is going to show up there? Like, who's going to pay $25 an hour?
Like tourists from Vancouver
to
are
rent
gonna
your
come by,
balcony?
like a family?
To rent your balcony. You think Maury will?
Yeah, Maury.
No.
No, I'm the guy. I was immediately thinking maybe I could rent my balcony.
Maury, your balcony's on which floor?
The third.
And what's the view?
The garbage.
Thank you.
Yo, let me hit like on that pic real quick.
Imagine you list that
No,
balcony.
I can't.
Yeah, but I always just assume that this is a way, like this is some scheme that some guy has come up with. And I'm not saying that this is what this guy is doing. I'm just saying that's immediately where my head goes, is that lockdown has been tough on a lot of people and meeting new people is very difficult.
Because you think like if they're all by the pool, he's bringing out the margaritas?
Something like that, right?
Hey, need any company?
Exactly.
like in his mind, he's thinking like a girl and 4 of her girlfriends are gonna rent out the pool.
Yes.
And then at that point, shoot your shot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, what he's going to get is like people like my family, where I go in the pool with my kid and I go, shh, 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 got a fart. Did you hear it? That's all we do in the pool. That's how we do in the pool. Right? But no, to me, this just seems like a way to just meet chicks. But $25 for a balcony rental for an hour.
$25 for an hour.
For an hour of a balcony
But like,
rental.
what are you gonna? You're not.
I don't know. It is a beautiful
the
view.
most.
Like the
Okay.
view is stunning.
But you don't have to just take pictures. You could go to this guy's balcony, maybe sit down, read a book.
Yeah, I guess.
You think you can just hang out? No, I think you got to work. I think you got to
have a
take
whole
some
hour.
pictures. I
No,
know,
I
but
know,
I don't think
but-
you could just go and hang out on the man's
See,
balcony.
But that's the thing. Like, I think the exact same thing. Like, maybe you grab a Starbucks, you sit there for 5 minutes, you snap some pics, and then you bounce, right?
You bring your laptop,
But
you work
then,
on your presentation.
To Maury's point, maybe somebody sees that view and it is a nice distraction, and they do bring a book or they do bring a laptop. But then you gotta ask for the guys. You gotta ask for the guy's Wi-Fi
or date night. Maybe you're bringing your date up there.
Funny you say that. You're given Wi-Fi access
Are you
when
really?
you rent his balcony.
See?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
I'm starting to think this guy's actually a genius.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not. It
No.
is easy money. It's not necessarily for
Also,
for
the
picking up
pool
girls.
one, I love this. I would love to rent somebody's pool.
Your father has a pool.
I know, yeah,
You
but I
have
don't have
access
access
to
to
a
that. I'm not allowed to go there when he's not home. So maybe he could go on the app. I'll rent it.
Trust. The amount of, you know what? The amount of people in Maury's life that just trust you so much, man. It's absolutely incredible.
That's what love looks like.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
That Kardashian reunion last night with Andy Cohen was incredible. I'm not even a fan of the show. I've never seen one episode of this show.
But you've really, over the past couple of weeks, been into the final season.
No. What I'm
You're the
into,
one that's always bringing it up.
No, what I'm
Just say facts.
No, because what I'm into is finally what you're getting is now that everything is coming to an end, you're actually getting the reality of what that show was. And it's not the sort of theatrics and trumped up scripting and all of this other stuff, all the nonsense. What you're getting is the sort of reality behind things. And this Andy Cohen special, I don't know, did you watch it last night?
I did not, no.
Let me play a couple clips here.
Yeah.
So Andy
because
Cohen,
we know everything that played out in real life, and then like 6 months later, we see how it plays out in their world on the television show, right?
So Andy Cohen goes right back to the beginning, like the very beginning, and why the show was popular in the first place. And he wonders if it, or how much of it, had anything to do with Kim's sex tape. This is number 2.
Do you feel that the show would have had its massive initial success without the publicity that surrounded the sex tape?
Wow.
Looking back, probably not. I think that everything happens for a reason, and I really try to live like that. And every time there's something in a crazy scandal that feels like you can't breathe and how are you going to get through this, it always is a lesson, even if it's a private lesson or even if it's just something that we didn't know we had to go through.
Have you thought about the time that you're going to have to explain it to any of the kids?
Absolutely.
Or have you had to explain it?
I haven't had to as of yet. And luckily, I think that so many years have gone on and so many things have happened positively that it really erases that. That is something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. That is something that's being held over my head. I try not to have any regrets, but it's probably the one thing that I wish didn't exist. And if I could erase any of the stupid things that I've done in life, that's probably it. And it's more so from being a mom than anything.
Do you think that Andy Cohen had to submit to them general topics, not specific questions that he's going to ask, but these things may come up in our conversation?
He started the whole show by saying, you guys don't know anything that I'm asking you. And he says that right off the top, saying, now you guys know nothing.
No. But what I'm saying is, before, would he have said to them, here are an array of topics that may come up, not specific questions, topics that may come up?
Yes, I just because you want people to be prepared for answers. But it sounds like to me, it's a sort of a hybrid of what you're asking and what Maury just said, which is, I'm sure that they went through and said, hey, if we're going to do this, we got to do this right, because my reputation as Andy Cohen is on the line, because this is what I do, and you guys know this, and that I ask everything. And just be prepared. We're going to talk about the sex tape. We're going to talk about, the Kanye divorce. We're going to talk about, the secret pregnancy with Kylie. We're going to talk about all this stuff. And so you sort of prepare them that way to just know that everything is on the table, and then that way they can formulate answers. Go to number 9. This is Andy asking why it did not work with Kanye.
If I asked you point blank, why did your marriage not work? What would you attribute it to?
I honestly don't think I would even say it here on TV, but it was not one specific thing that happened on either part. I think it was just a general difference of opinions on a few things that led to this decision. And in no way would I want someone to think that I didn't give it my all or not really try. We have 4 kids. There's nothing that I think parents would want more than to see, or even kids want more than to see their parents together. I grew up and I lived that myself.
How is your relationship with him today?
We have an amazing co-parenting relationship, and I respect him so much. And I think we'll have, that was my friend first and foremost for a long time. So I can't see that going away. I will forever be Kanye's biggest fan. He's the father of my kids. Kanye will always be family.
Wow.
Now, I don't know what they're going to get into in part 2, but that's Sunday at 9.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you mentioned, real quick, the thing about Kylie. And
so
hiding the pregnancy.
Well, because that was the whole thing, right?
How much of it did they get into?
Number 4.
Oh.
You kept your pregnancy a secret because why?
I shared so much of my life. I was also really young when I got pregnant, and it was just a lot for me personally. I didn't know how I would bring that to the public too, and have, everyone's opinions. I think it was just something that I needed to go through by myself.
Oh, damn.
Right.
Girl wearing a lot of jewelry too.
Yeah, I know. It was either ice in a cocktail glass or jewelry. But yeah, no, for sure,
so
sure,
that
jewelry.
is the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion part 1.
Bro, I don't know what they're going to talk about in part 2, but there is a part 2 Sunday at 9.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tristan Thompson denying that he cheated on Khloe Kardashian. So the story was that Tristan Thompson went to a party on Friday and went into a bedroom with 3 women and came back out looking disheveled 30 minutes later.
Come on, bro.
He said when he arrived, his shirt looked all pressed. And when he came out, his shirt was a mess. He looked disheveled, they said. He continued to party for about another hour, and then he left the party at 4 a.m. with his entourage. So this puts him in what? In that room at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
2:30?
Something like that.
Right? 2:30 in the room, come back out, disheveled, party for another hour. I guess 2:30 somewhere. And nothing good ever happens at 2:30, man.
Y'all weren't playing PS5.
No. So responding to that story, if you look at his Twitter, he just tweeted 5 cap emojis, which I didn't know means lying.
What? Like he thinks that we are to believe that they were in there just having long discussions?
Or maybe it just didn't happen.
Or that it didn't happen?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it didn't
They were
happen.
asking me about my NBA career.
Or he's not saying it didn't happen, and what he's saying is that he didn't cheat on Khloe Kardashian. What he could be saying is, hey, listen, we broke up. I went to that party single. Mind your business.
Yeah, single man's going to do what single man's do.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he's capping on that. I don't know. How do you say that, capping? What do you say? What's the proper way to say that?
No cap.
No, but if you accuse somebody of capping, do you accuse somebody of cap or do you accuse somebody of capping?
I didn't do that. No cap.
No. If I accuse, if you're saying, if I think you're lying, right?
You're saying Mocha, that's cap.
Mocha, that's cap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. But nobody says capping.
Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
That's cap.
You don't say you're capping?
That's weird.
Like if I think you're lying,
no,
I don't say you're capping right now?
Yeah, it is. You should use it all day today.
Listen, man, okay? I'm just trying to do my best to navigate this new world,
Yeah,
all
no
right?
cap.
Okay, no cap. No cap. Right?
No, but use capping all day today. Put it on social.
I will never use capping.
It'll go over real well.
No, I don't understand. It's one of the. I will go my whole life. I'm going to live a great, fantastic, long, healthy, happy life without ever using capping in a non-ironic way. Trust me.
In or not in a no flex zone?
Well, I will flex, but I will not cap.
No cap.
I bet.
Okay. What does that mean now?
Oh, that's a long story, right?
Bet?
Yeah, I bet.
But bet's already a word.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, no cap.
Okay. Oh, you guys, man, I swear to God, both of you. You're going to, I may quit before the end of the show. No cap.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
We got a neighborhood thief on our hands. At least that's the case in Oregon, where Kate Felmet's cat has been going around stealing stuff from people and bringing the items home back to Kate. She's got so much stuff now, she had to set it all out in the front of her house so people could come by and claim their stuff. Hello, Kate. It's Roz Mocha. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good.
So you got a thiefy cat, huh?
Yeah, Esme steals things. She's been doing it her whole life, pretty much.
So when did you realize that, because cats will bring home anything because they love you and they want to give you gifts. So oftentimes it's a rat.
Or a bird.
If you're lucky, or a bird, or in my case, my cat would just stand at the back door with a live dragonfly in her mouth.
Oh, no.
By its butt while its wings were still flapping.
Gross.
But when did the gifts go from being that to being people's stuff?
Well, mostly it was back in March when lockdown first started, because I think it's because I was wearing masks a lot because I wear them at work, and they were, I guess, all over the park next door. So she started bringing them home in early March, and she had always brought home little bits of garbage and plastic bags and rubber bands and rolls of tape and things like that.
Yeah.
But when the mask started, I mean, she brought home 4 or 5 every day. And one day she actually brought home 11.
11 masks in one day?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Gross.
Piling them up.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
So what do you do with them? You just toss them?
Gross. Well, I mean, these aren't like cloth masks. Back in March, these were all, gross surgical masks.
Oh,
so
no.
I was afraid to touch anything. So
Yeah.
I'd pick them up with chopsticks and put them in the garbage.
Ew.
So what kind of stuff has
gross.
she been taking? Like, what other stuff has she brought home from the neighborhood? Like anything that Esme, the cat, has brought home that you knew belonged to, like, a neighbor, let's say?
Yeah, so when people started opening their garages, she was just going in there stealing all the time. And so I eventually had to go around to the neighbors and get to know them better and make apology rounds and bring stuff back. But there's a kid across the street who likes to roller skate and has Spider-Man knee pads, and she's stolen the same pair of knee pads 3 times.
Oh, no. Poor kid.
Yeah. But, she actually stole a taxidermy bat from one of the neighbors' garages. She's also brought swimsuits and lengths of fabric and lace, and she stole a camera at one point.
A camera?
But this spring, a camera. But this spring, it really turned into gloves.
Okay, so
Yes.
so now you have all this stuff, and you did what? You, instead of hiding it all and pretending that your cat isn't the neighborhood
Yes.
thief.
I did hide it for a long time, and I would chase down the neighbors and try to give it back. But at one point, she brought me 2 gloves a day for 4 days in a row, and I had a pile of 14 or 15 pairs of gloves. She always
jeez.
So I made a sign,
Yeah.
and the sign says, "My cat's a thief," and I painted a little picture of her carrying a glove on it, and I put up a clothesline in front of my house, and along with the sign, so people could take stuff back. Because I figured, again, by the end of the summer, I could have 50 pairs of gloves if I didn't find a way to give them back.
So you put a clothesline in your front lawn, and you put a sign saying, "Hey, my cat's a thief. If any of this stuff is yours, just take it." And you just hung all the merchandise on the clothesline.
Yes, and I keep hanging merchandise on the clothesline.
Oh, no. So have you noticed, more and more people showing up to your place, on your property, looking through to see if any of that stuff belongs to them?
Yeah, at first I got a lot of takers, and I probably got rid of maybe 10, 12 pairs of gloves and a running belt and several masks. Can you imagine taking a mask that you'd lost and was hanging from somebody else's lawn?
Yeah, no, gross. I just buy a new one.
No.
Yeah, it's gross. The gloves that are there now have been there for a while, and actually I have a new purpose for them. I've been hiding them for Esme. So the gloves that are not being taken are still serving a purpose.
Oh, so you deliberately hide gloves so he just brings home the gloves that you've hidden.
I started this 3 days ago, but it seems to be working. I put them in the park in a vacant lot, and every time I've done it, she's brought back both pairs within 2-3 hours. And
Wow.
she looks so happy running through the back door with a pair of gloves in her mouth.
Wow. It's like Easter every day for your cat.
Right. It's a little scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
You also have to be careful that people don't see you and think that you're littering the park with gloves and masks.
Well, they might.
Yeah.
I figure it's better than her stealing other people's stuff.
In my neighborhood, I don't know what I would find even more weird. Seeing a cat running down the street with a glove in its mouth, or watching a woman hide glove in the bushes in the park.
I pretty much just toss them far off into the vacant lot.
And how old is your cat?
She's 3.
3.
3, and she's a shelter cat.
Love shelter cats, love mischievous cats, love cats that bring home gifts, love thieving cats. Thank you so much.
Bored. She's got
super bored.
Things to do, right?
Super bored.
Got to fill that time.
No, she's not bored. She has an agenda. She wakes up at 5:30 in the morning, like, let me out. I got to go find some gloves.
Wow. I got to go to work. Got to go to work, Ma.
Exactly.
Kate, you're the owner of Esme, the thieving cat. Thank you very much for joining us on the Roz and Mocha Show today.
You have a great day.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is.
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Joanne, it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on with you today?
I'm just so sick and tired of my husband just farting all the time.
Okay, so Joanne, you wrote us this. Roz and Mocha fix my life. My husband farts all the time. It takes great joy, like a 9-year-old, to run up to me and let it loose. It's tiring and annoying. The worst part is his farting in bed. For me, that is the limit. He thinks it's all funny. I literally pushed him out of the bed with my feet last night. I sprayed him with hair detangler.
Oh, no.
So he and his gas would get out of bed. Please help me.
Have you tried having like a serious conversation with him?
About farting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have. And he says, it's normal. I mean, it's normal, but I've never been with anyone that farts like at the
How long you
amount that it's like all the time. He even uses it like for exclamation points sometimes, for goodness sake.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So he'll like, he'll say something definitive and like cap it off with a fart.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty talented.
How long you been with him?
8 years.
8 years, huh? You got any kids?
No.
Okay. Why don't you divorce him?
Everything else is great. It's just this.
Oh.
Well, then there you go. There's your answer. I could say that maybe you could have a conversation with him. Does it affect your sex life at all?
No, thank God.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, then, geez, man, I'm running out of ideas here. I would never suggest withholding sex because I think that that's like a whole dumb thing. But if you still find him attractive, like he still turns you on.
Well, as long as he doesn't have one of his.
Okay,
it depends on the day. When he's farting like at a crescendo, then no,
Okay.
stay away from me.
Okay,
Especially when they're stinky.
Okay, well, I would say what guys may respond to is if you just sit down and say, "Listen, I'm your wife, and I want to have a wonderfully long, beautiful marriage to you that is filled with fantastic sex for years to come. When you do that, I find you the least attractive that I have since I've known you. It is the least sexy thing that you do. And it's not that I don't love you, okay? And it's not that I don't want to be with you. I'm not going to walk out of this marriage, but I need to find you sexy, okay? And this really affects that. You can fart, but my God, when you weaponize it and you torture me with it, that's like my limit.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Have you ever
I don't know
tried
what else to say.
firing back with a fart, like just to let him know what it's like?
I'm not full of gas like he is. I don't know. We eat the same thing. I don't know what's in his body. I just can't do it on demand like he does.
Do some yoga or something ahead of time and just load up the chamber and then wait for him to come in the room.
Oh no!
I thought if I do that, then it's just going to make it worse. So I'm like, even when I'm loaded to go, I think I better not, because otherwise we're going to get into like a thing like little kids.
Yeah, he'd probably love it and be like, "Oh, you want to battle?"
Yeah. He'd
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, you'd wake up and there'd be one in a jar on the counter for you.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Next thing you know, you're lighting them on fire.
Oh no!
You're like
you're
doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but I think that you can have a conversation. Like, I don't think that you need to play real hardball with a farting husband. But I think that you can say, I love you a lot and I love being your wife, but I need to also find you attractive. And I normally do. Every other moment of the day, I still find you sexy, man. But when you throw a fart at me, no. That doesn't work for me.
Not cool.
Not cool. And I think that maybe he may tune in. He may tune into that. Nobody wants to think that they turn off their wife.
Yeah, thanks. I think that angle. I didn't do that. I think of that angle before, but I think that angle might actually reach him finally. Please,
Well,
God.
try that out, and hopefully it gets you out of your stinky situation.
Does he fart in bed? And when I mean in bed, I mean in bed.
Oh no! If he did that, forget it. He'd be toast.
Okay, so he can control them then.
Sure, he can.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. He just does it for your benefit because he thinks that you enjoy it, or he's a troll. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys love trolling their wives with farts.
Yeah, I think he's a troll.
Yeah. You can tell him, hey, you can troll me with a lot of things, right? Don't put a fart in my lap and walk out of the room. And
it's not sexy.
No, it's not sexy. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
All right. Does that help, Joanne?
Yeah, it did. Thanks so much, guys.
Right.
No worries. You have a good day.
You ever throw a fart at Jenna Mocha?
No, I can't.
You can't.
When I let one go, I will warn her.
You will, huh?
Yeah, I'll be like, babe, I'm really sorry.
Oh, wow.
But it's really bad
Really?
in there, or it's really bad in this vicinity. You may want to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why? Did you do that to Catherine?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't even give fair warning. Like, I just can't. Who's got time for that?
Oh, jeez, wow.
No.
I do it all the time to Matthew.
You do it all the time in here.
Yeah.
I'm proud of mine.
Yeah. Why are you so proud of them?
'Cause
you
they're
don't
like
you don't have much
musical.
because you don't have much else to be proud of, or you're like what? I'm just asking.
Can I ask you a question? How are you so good at insults?
Love you, Joanne. Take care.
Because you make
Thanks.
it
Aren't you going to
so
ask me who my
easy.
favorite is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Roz, hands down.
Thank you, my love.
And I'm not going to explain it because Roz says, please don't do that. So, Roz
but
is
now,
mine.
But now I need to know why.
I just love his wisdom and his jokes, and I love his laugh.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, guys.
Hot, right?
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
So explain this to me. Are people pissed at Usher or are people pissed at T-Pain today?
No.
Because I see both their names super high up in what's going on.
No, people are pissed at Usher
Okay.
and running to defend T-Pain.
So there's a show that is on Netflix or coming to Netflix in the States called This Is Pop. And there's a clip that came out where it's T-Pain talking about how he fell into a deep depression after Usher told him what?
Oh, I'll let T-Pain tell the story.
Usher was my friend. I really respect Usher. He was like, man, I want to tell you something, man. Kind of up music. I chuckled a little bit. It was a nervous chuckle, but I chuckled. And it was, I didn't understand, you know. I thought he was joking at first, but then it was like, nah, man, you really up music for real singers. And I was like, how? Wait, are you serious? It was like, yeah, man. Like, look what you did, man. Look what you're doing. I'm like, what did I do? I came out and I used auto-tune. He's like, yeah, you it up. I'm like, I used it. I didn't tell everybody else to start using it. That is the very moment, and I don't even think I realized this for a long time. That's the very moment that started like a 4-year depression for me.
Because T-Pain is correct. He's not the first person to use auto-tune. He is one of the guys that when he came out and started using it during a time where his music was just so popular and he was getting like #1 hits. His albums were going #1. He picked up like 2 Grammy Awards. It was all T-Pain everywhere because it wasn't just his music. He was then in high demand from other artists to collaborate on tracks because of his use of autotune.
So Usher
which
was
made it seem like autotune was basically everywhere.
Well, I mean, T-Pain is, when you think autotune, you think T-Pain. You don't think anybody who did it before T-Pain.
That's right. You think of things like this. Right. This is one of the songs that was everywhere, which helped make T-Pain such a high commodity in the music business, right? But yeah, man, everyone was going in on Usher yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with Usher, to be honest with you. I think that what Usher was saying is that, you know, your excessive use of autotune has ruined music in the sense that now you no longer need to stand on talent. You no longer need to be a singer that, you know, perfects the craft and fights to the top. You can be a lot of different things in music, but what autotune does is it makes it easy for people to be in the same league as people that they shouldn't be in.
Jay-Z had released a song at one point called Death to Autotune.
Yeah.
Because it was after T-Pain, then everybody else started using autotune a lot more, where previously they hadn't had to rely on that technology.
Right. And there's better examples of autotune. Like when you can actually hear the autotune, it became a style for people.
Yeah.
Right. And I was never into it because it just sounds so robotic and there's no soul to it. There's no heart to it. It's I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like painting with a computer kind of thing. Like it's
Snoop
just that
Dogg,
there's no.
I think he released
there's no
like
life to it.
a full album, I believe Snoop Dogg did, where it was all auto-tuned.
Yeah.
Kanye did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne did the exact same
Yeah.
thing. All of this was after T-Pain.
Yeah.
But people were going in on Usher about his auto-tune comment and then bringing up the fact, like, bro, you are talking all this about T-Pain, but then you go and release a song where not only you're auto-tuned, but the person that you're singing track with, Will.I.Am, on a song called OMG,
right,
also is using auto-tune.
Fell in love with Shawty when I seen her on the dance floor. She was dancing sexy.
Like, it's very minimal auto-tune on Usher's voice.
This was something special. This was just like that.
But like when you hear Will.I.Am come in,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, Usher, how dare you say this about T-Pain and then still be in a song that's like heavily auto-tuned?
Well, because T-Pain changed the game, right? Like you don't have to agree with it, but T-Pain changed the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't know that this threw him into a 4-year depression, and those words from Usher just hit so hard. But yeah, no, I don't disagree with Usher.
Really?
No.
One of my
I think it took the life out of a lot of music.
One of my favorite comments I saw on Instagram, because everyone, like, people were like going below the belt.
Yeah.
With some of their insults.
Of course they were.
Against Usher coming to the defense of T-Pain.
Yeah.
But somebody says, why does everyone give T-Pain such a hard time? Also, didn't Usher recently just give somebody herpes?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There is an anniversary I've been waiting so long to celebrate.
Am I involved?
In the conversation? Sure.
Oh.
It was on June 23rd, 1996. 25 years ago today.
1996.
Stone Cold Steve Austin won the King of the Ring tournament.
God.
Beating out Jake the Snake Roberts.
Okay.
Okay, so he leaves the ring. Jake the Snake is still standing inside the ring.
Right.
And Stone Cold walks up to where Michael Hayes, who is conducting the interviews,
Okay.
is. And Michael Hayes sticks the microphone in front of Stone Cold's face.
Right.
Who's still amped up from just winning the King of the Ring over Jake the Snake Roberts.
Okay.
Who at the time, Jake the Snake, had retired for a bit. He came back.
Is that why you're wearing an Austin 316 hat today?
No.
No? Just coincidence?
That's the reason why I'm wearing an Austin 316 hat today.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And this was on during the run when Jake the Snake was all about his religious beliefs.
Oh, wow.
So during his promos and stuff, he would always like be busting out lines from the scripture and stuff like that.
Really?
So Stone Cold, yeah, gets
Jake
on
the
the
Snake?
microphone. Yep. Stone Cold Steve Austin gets on the microphone and says this.
The first thing I want to be done is to get that piece of crap out of my ring.
Yeah. Speak on it.
Don't just get him out of the ring, get him out of the WWF.
Ooh.
Because I've proved, son, without a shadow of a doubt, you ain't got what it takes anymore.
Ooh. Get out, Jake.
You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers, and it didn't get you anywhere.
Nope, you lost.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
So that was the first time.
Is that where it came from?
That's the first time he used the Austin 3:16 reference.
Really, huh?
Which then became, like, for merchandising.
Everything.
The most popular, even to this day, the most popular piece of merchandise that the WWE has ever seen. 25 years ago today was the first time he referenced Austin 3:16, because the very next night, people in the arena started showing up with their own, like, homemade shirts and signs.
Well, it's wild because normally when you see something like Austin 3:16, like if you just said that, like this goes to show you like how that penetrated all aspects of wrestling culture, than pop culture, than just general culture, which is normally you would see something like Austin 3:16 written and you would think that it's to commemorate something, right? Something that you don't understand. Nobody ever questions what Austin 3:16 means.
No.
Nobody. Everybody knows what that means.
Yeah. And today is the 25-year anniversary since Stone Cold Steve Austin uttered these words.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Oh, hell yeah!
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So, two companies really stepped in it this week. IKEA had their Juneteenth menu with watermelon and fried chicken.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
An attempt to honor Juneteenth has backfired
Oh,
for
no.
one Georgia IKEA location.
In Georgia?
Yeah.
This
And-
happened in the United States of America?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Guys.
To honor the perseverance of Black Americans and acknowledge the progress yet to be made, we observed Juneteenth on Saturday, June 19th. This is what they said. In an email which was sent to employees at the branch, look out for a special menu on Saturday, which will include fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, potato salad, collard greens, and candied yams.
Okay. Just
I mean, it sounds delicious.
no disrespect. The menu, that's probably the most lit IKEA menu ever.
Right?
Okay?
Yeah.
But you can't do that and say this is all for Juneteenth.
Okay, so that's IKEA, right?
Oh, y'all
and
messed
and
up.
now let's move over to a New York Times investigation with Subway.
Oh, no. What? Bread again?
So the New York Times submitted to a lab 60 inches worth of Subway tuna sandwiches. The study, which was commissioned by the New York Times, said that they failed to identify any tuna DNA in the Subway tuna sandwich. No amplifiable tuna DNA was present in the sample, so we obtained no amplification products from the DNA. Therefore, we cannot identify the species used.
Hold on. So what are they feeding everybody?
Well,
That's not tuna?
It's not.
What is it then? 'Cause
According-
didn't you guys remember?
There's
wasn't
two
there,
conclusions. There's two conclusions, they say.
Yeah.
One, that it is so heavily processed that whatever they did pull out, they couldn't actually identify, because what may have started as tuna, by the end of it, there's nothing left of that tuna in there because of the cooking, the preparation, the processing, everything else. So it may have derived from tuna, or it could just be other stuff that is made to look, taste, and feel like tuna. Those are the two possible conclusions.
Flaky.
Right.
It very much has a tuna smell and taste.
Right. But
do you guys remember, wasn't it recently or like a couple of years ago, weren't they accused of like the bread wasn't bread? They found like pieces of foam or something like that?
No.
Or-
It was so heavily processed that it couldn't be considered by the FDA, I believe it was, that you couldn't actually call it bread.
Oh.
Right? Because it didn't have enough of the components that actually constitute what is bread.
Wasn't it like the same material that's used in like floor mats they found in
That I don't know.
in the bread?
That I don't know.
And the bread not bread?
That I don't know. I mean, listen, delicious.
Tell me your bread without being bread?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Canada's drag race winner, Priyanka, will be hosting the 40th annual Toronto Pride Parade this Sunday afternoon starting at 2.
Priyanka, like grand champion of Drag Race Canada. Also, you may know Priyanka as Mark Suki from The Zone on YTV, who has been in my house since Roxy was just like a kid.
Crazy.
So crushing it on all fronts, on all demographics, an absolute champion. And I know one of Priyanka's dreams was to do this show.
Yeah. Also has a brand new album coming out called Test Out this summer, featuring the song Cake. Sounds like this.
Oh my God, it's so late. It's been a hot minute, wanna see that face. Oh my God, I look great. Spending all my time and you're making me wait. Somebody better call the feds. Cause I'll be turning heads. I'm about to cause a scene now. Step aside, bow down for the queen now. One night trying to take
Wow.
Priyanka, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
What up, what up, what up?
What's going on? Look at that crown. Look at you. We have to start with this. Back on April 16th, you tweeted, "My dream is to co-host the Roz and Mocha Show when my album comes out. Call me sexy." We can't actually have you in here yet.
I know, it's depressing, but I'm here with a crown on.
Right? Look at you.
You got to be excited about Sunday, though, huh?
I'm so excited. It's like hosting the Toronto Pride Parade. Are you joking? Like, I'm the face of gay people now.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Like, are you gay? That means you're just like me.
So this, let's get into that real quick, because I'm sure you had done the Pride, done the parade and the weekend, and then what became a month sort of over the years. And did you see yourself in this role? Like, did you go to Pride and sort of envision yourself in this role, or was this something that there was a time where it was unattainable? Like, how would you even be in a position to host something like Pride?
It was so unattainable. Even being, the kids' TV guy beforehand, I never really thought that I would be shocked when I would be at the Pride Parade, just, in the corners, like, oh, this is fun. I think I like this. Am I gay? And kids being like, oh, like, they're like, yo, are you the SpongeBob guy? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yo, this is so cool that you're here, because this means that like I'm okay to be me too. And that's when I was like, oh, maybe I can do something in this community. And then the drag started, then I won Canada's Drag Race, and now I'm in love with you. It escalates.
So you're asked to host a Pride Parade, which is this Sunday afternoon. Immediately in your mind, do you already have things planned out? You have your outfits planned out. Maybe you have certain things that you want to say planned out. Do you have any surprises that you're going to spring on people? Or do you kind of like have to follow a little bit of a format?
I mean, you definitely have to follow a little bit of a format. And the thing is I think when anybody ever hires me, they know that there's surprises coming because I'm so chaotic. Mm-hmm. I'm like, when like you go to a wedding and then there's the MC that goes rogue and tells a really bad sex joke in front of the dad?
Yes.
Like, that's like me. That's like me. That's like me. It's like, remember that time when we went to Mexico and we all had that, and we all like, that's literally me.
Are you the first children's entertainer to make the jump to sort of drag legend in the speed at which you did?
Yeah. People find it shocking that I used to host kids' TV.
Yeah, it's wild. But I don't find it that shocking though, because I don't, because you on YTV and you in drag, it's like it's the ability to connect and entertain. It's just you're just doing it in a different package, right?
Oh, 100%. It's like when you actually line up both me at my kids' TV job and me in drag, you're like, oh, right, this is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I think that it's the most shocking part, but also I shouldn't have been shocked, was all the kids that used to watch me then followed me and watched me at Canada's Drag Race. And their messages are very just like, we're so proud of you, Suki.
Aww,
like, you did it. You did it. It's really, really cool.
Hey, before we talk about the new album and your new song, Dammit Maury, come on in here, because I know Dammit Maury is such a huge fan of yours. And he was like extremely excited that we were going to have you on the show, Priyanka. Dammit Maury, is there anything that you've always wanted to say, or a question maybe you wanted to ask?
First of all, I'm so proud of you. I absolutely love you. But do you think that Lemon was robbed and Lemon should have won Drag Race Canada?
Oh, wow.
Not on my press junket tour. not when I'm promoting the single.
How dare you bring that?
What's actually funny is that, like, I love when fans say people were robbed, because it really is just the best thing in the world, the whole world. Like when Jimbo got eliminated and I was pushed to the top 3.
Yeah.
Every single interview that Jimbo did was like, well, Priyanka should have went home.
Oh,
like Priyanka should have been sent home. I was robbed.
So Priyanka, talk to us about this album. What can people expect? Tell us about the new song.
My music is like club banger, pop, turn the party, let's go.
Yes.
But also like lyrically, the content is about like this guy who broke up with me right after I won Canada's Drag Race, and who actually tried to date Lemon right before he tried to date me. And I didn't know until the end. I didn't know until the end.
What happened? What did he do? Like reach out, like DM?
So this happened. You know when you sit down with your friend and you're like, okay, so I met this cute guy and I'm so excited. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, oh, like what's his name? And I was like, oh, his name is, and she's like, oh, is it this guy? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, girl, like look at our DMs, and was showing me like him being like, hey, sexy, like all this stuff. So it's drama, but it's a lot more, you know, my Twitter is quite chaotic. So it's like if I took all my tweets and put them in lyrics.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
PrideToronto.com is the website. This Sunday, you are hosting the Pride Toronto Parade, and it is going to be exciting. We're excited for you. We're very happy for you, and we can't thank you enough for joining us on the Roz and Mocha Show today.
Anytime. My name is Priyanka. What's my name?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Will Smith took over the Red Table for Red Table Talk for Father's Day.
Oh.
And his guest was Kevin Hart. And they went through a lot of stuff. They went through the relationships that they have with fatherhood and their own dads and what it's like raising kids. And
Kevin Hart has that movie called Fatherhood. That's out on Netflix right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is talking about having sort of daughters and what happens when they get to the age where you have to start welcoming, other men into your life that your daughters might be into.
Is there like any boy interest yet?
Yeah, and she talks to me about it, and I had to learn to be okay. I had to learn not say get the out of here. What are you talking about?
One of the things I ran into with Willow, because she was raised around good men, she has a little bit of naivete around what predatorial behavior could be like.
How do you tell your daughter who you were before you became the man that you are?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Without saying too much to your daughter.
Where she don't like you no more.
Where she doesn't have any respect. Where she doesn't
Wow.
have any respect. What my daughter is experiencing now is something that I never experienced coming up. I don't know what it's like to have a mom, dad in the house. I don't know what it's like to see a marriage on display in front of me. I didn't know what it was like for a family to sit at the table and eat dinner together, or a family take trips. In my neighborhood where I was from, it's unheard of. Nobody had it.
It's a good interview, man.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It seems quite
it's
interesting
really good.
because each of them, their life story growing up, quite different. But the level of fame that they're at right now and what they can provide for their children, to Kevin's point, it's something that his kids are seeing and living through, that it's hard to, I don't know if it's hard to explain what your upbringing or how different your upbringing was from what your kids now have.
And they also get into the fact that Kevin has like older kids, but now he's also got like brand new babies.
And you got a new baby.
Yeah, I got two new babies.
Yo,
Jesus.
like when I heard, I was like, yo, he went back to the beginning.
Yes. Two new babies.
He got two new babies.
Two new babies.
I was like, oh man. Listen, I see parents with them new kids, and it's like, I mean, I love it, but I would be like, my baby's 20.
Yeah, man.
Willow's 20 years old, so I got my life back.
Idiot, what are you doing? I was right there.
Right there.
Done. 16, 14, I'm right there. I'm at the finish line.
Yo, and he went back to the beginning, but...
Right there, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, no, that's...
Doesn't sound like it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yo, it's Roz and Mocha.
Oh my God, hi.
Hi. This is Sham that we're talking to, Roz.
Okay.
And Sham said this: guys, I'm obsessed with the show. I just realized I've been listening to you for so long. I first started when I got my first job out of college, and listening to you guys in the car made me less nervous to show up to work. That was back in 2010, and now I have a baby. Bruh.
Wow. It's been a long time, huh?
Yeah, a long time. I feel like you guys are family.
We feel the same way about you.
How long ago did you have the baby?
He's 8 months old, so he was born in October.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, congratulations.
How old are you now?
Thank you. How old am I now?
Yeah.
32.
32. Okay, so you were 22. No, even younger, 20, right?
Yeah. Around 2021.
Jeez, man, that's crazy. So, like, what have you learned over this amount of time, either about yourself or about the show, or?
Honestly, that you just get over things.
Yeah.
Really? Like what? Oh, was there drama? Sham, spill the tea, girl.
No. You know what it is? Like when people call in and they have troubles or whether it's like a relationship or family or you guys are going through stuff, at the end of the day, you guys just kind of figure out how to move forward.
Yeah. Because what choice do you have?
And so I just feel like that's what you guys kind of taught me. And it's crazy to think how like basic that is.
Yeah.
But you guys really made it feel like it's going to be okay.
Yeah. That took me a long time to learn. I refused to acknowledge anything that had happened. I refused to acknowledge any sort of negativity or anything bad that had ever happened, or whether it was done to me or I did it to myself or whatever it was. I just refused to deal with things and move on. And I had so many defense mechanisms and distractions and ways of just coping that I thought that was the sort of healthy way, was to just, stack it up. Then everything just sort of changed, where I wasn't afraid of things anymore. And you come to the realization that moving on is the only choice you have. And sort of once you put yourself in that mindset, all that stuff that you've gone through just really every single day just defines less and less of who you are. And then when you sort of come out of it on the other end, you realize that, you're about what you can give and, not what happened to you, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's stuff like that. Like you just saying what you said just makes it feel like you're giving personal advice. You're not just speaking like, it's all going to be okay. Like it's like a genuine, you care. You guys care about people. And it's like, that's what helped me get through it. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys actually care. And you guys actually know that it's all going to be okay because you experience things. And so it's funny because now I say to my son, if he's crying or something, I'm like, it's going to be okay.
Aw.
It's all going to be okay.
That's the thing though, right? Like with you, Sham, and like with this show, we've all shared so much of our lives together over the past, like going on 12 years now that the show has been in existence, right? Like so much of us is so much of you, and so much of you guys is so much of us, right? It's because we have that relationship and that long-standing, I guess, friendship that we've all been able to build over the past 12 years.
Totally, yeah.
I have not aged in the amount of time that the show has been on.
What do you
look
mean?
the same.
You do not look the same,
honestly,
bro.
like we're having such a heartfelt conversation with Sham right now, and then you had to come in with this BS. You almost made me cuss just now.
Yeah.
Because I posted a throwback, and I'm like, I've not aged.
Did you listen to anything we were just talking
Nothing
about?
at all.
One word.
Your great advice.
No,
blah, blah, blah.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't come in here and do a bit, right? Did you hear anything that we had said?
I was in the bathroom.
No, you weren't. You were standing there waving your arms for me to invite you in, and I ignored you every time you did.
No, if you looked at me, I was smelling my underarms. I was not waving my arms.
Okay. This is what it's like. You want to know what it's like?
Yeah.
Years of this. But
Sham.
Sham, it's so good to talk to you, and thank you so much for all the wonderful years that you've spent hanging out with us on this show. We appreciate you more than you will ever know.
Oh, same guys. And I can't not listen to you guys, and it's so good, and it makes me feel so good for the day. And the baby feels the same way.
Yay! Congratulations. What's your baby's name?
His name is Matthew.
Nice.
Oh, great name.
Well, all the best
Shut
to
up,
you,
Maury.
to Matthew. Thank you again for sharing so much of your life with us and spending whatever time you get in a day with our show. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Okay, so I thought about this a lot. I'm going to say that my favorite is Roz.
But
okay,
It sounded like you were going to continue.
It sounded
My favorite is Roz, but
it's not. There's no but. He's my favorite.
Okay, how about this? I love Roz because
he's a really, really good listener, and he gives really good advice.
Excuse me? The advice part, I will say, absolutely.
It's been such a pleasure talking to you. Feel free to call back in 3 months and say all of this again, because if you know me, you know I will not remember any of this conversation by then.
Yeah, real quick, what's her name?
Yeah, what's that?
Her name.
He doesn't remember.
Oh, no. I do.
What is it?
It is. Hold on. Give me a
Don't
second.
make me change my mind.
Shush you. Shush.
What's her name?
Name is Sharon. Shannon. Shan. Shar.
Mocha, you're the best.
Thank you, Sham. We love you.
Shem.
Love you
No,
guys.
Sham. Shem works with us. Sham is who we're talking to.
Shart.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Thanks, Sham.
Love you guys.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hi, it's Roz Mocha.
So I just had a real random question for you guys. I thought you might be able to help me out with it.
Okay, first of all, what's your name?
John.
John, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm way behind in your podcast. Like, I just listened to episode 35.
Same.
And on that,
35, that's 3 years ago. Okay.
you know what? I just came across you guys actually last year, so I'm catching up slowly.
Okay.
And in that episode, Maury is he has to tell Matthew about his $60 purchase of Bitcoin and how he got 0.06 worth of a Bitcoin or whatever. And then later in the episode, he has to tell Matthew that he could be a millionaire, but he has to be able to cash out with his 12-word password, and he forgets it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm left on a cliffhanger. Did he remember his 12-word password? Is he a millionaire? Did he cash out? And it's killing me. So I thought I would give it a shot, see if you guys could help me.
You want spoilers?
Well, does it come later? I don't know.
Okay, well, put it this way. Is Maury a Bitcoin millionaire? Maury is still here today wearing the same shirt he wore on Friday. So,
I thought that might just be the goodness of his heart.
and the previous Thursday and the previous Wednesday. Same undies, too. So I don't know if that is as much of a spoiler as you would like, but no, Maury did not remember his password.
Oh, no.
Spoiler alert?
Yeah.
All these years later. Oh, no.
How long ago did you discover the Roz and Mocha Show, and how is it that you discovered us?
I started listening early June of last year when gyms opened up for us. I'm out in BC and the gyms opened up.
Yeah.
And I was on just on my iPhone listening to finding stations on Apple Music, and yours came up, and loved listening to you guys, and I've been hooked ever since.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just so you know, John, Roz and I will be celebrating our 12th year doing this show in August. Yeah.
Wow. Holy cow. Holy cow.
So you have a lot of listening to do if you're only on episode 35.
Yeah, I got hundreds to catch up on.
Yeah, you do.
I'm working on it, though, for sure.
You know what? I'm kind of jealous of you, John, because you're going to be going back and listening to stuff that we probably forgot that we talked about all those years ago.
It's hard, though, because then I want to talk to you about stuff, but it's so far in the past that you guys are well over it. So
I don't mind. I don't mind this stuff. What I find infuriating is when somebody listens to something on the podcast that we did 3 years ago, and then they call up and give you crap about it.
Like, man, I don't remember that.
And I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, John, thank you very much for the call. Thank you for listening. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. We appreciate that you share your time with us, and it's exciting to know that you're finally, in the world of Roz and Mocha, and you're going to get to experience everything as a brand new listener.
Absolutely, I love it.
Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite? I'm sure you've heard on the podcast. We ask people that.
Oh yeah. Well, life's all about balance. So I don't think I can go with Roz because I kind of got his same crotchety attitude a little bit. So I need to go with Mocha to balance me out.
Yes. Amazing. John, we love you, brother.
Thanks.
You take care, man.
Guys, have a good one.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hey, Gabby, it's Roz and Mocha.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. You got a lot on your mind, huh?
I do. My coworker took over as supervisor, and she's making my life miserable.
Yeah, he said, Roz and Mocha fix my life. She finds anything she can to pick on and bring up during group meetings instead of one-on-one. Anytime we are in a group setting, she will say something condescending like, can you handle that? And if any of my other coworkers make the same mistake, she doesn't bring it up. She just turns a blind eye. It's gotten to the point of where I dread going into work and have had to leave my desk to go and cry out of frustration.
Oh, before this person became your supervisor, were you guys like cool already in the office?
Yeah, absolutely. We were, I wouldn't say we were like the best of friends or anything, but we were good. Like, you know, we like went out for lunch a couple of times. You know, we were good. Like, there was never any issues between us.
Yeah. Have other other coworkers noticed this behavior, that she treats you differently than everybody else?
Yeah. So aside from her, there's a group of 4 of us. So the one girl and I were kind of closer together, and she notices it a lot. The 2 other ones, they're kind of like in their own world. So I don't, and I don't really talk to them anyway. So they don't really notice anything, or at least I don't know if they do. But it's getting to, like, at first I thought it was just all in my head and I was going crazy, but after my coworker confirmed it, I knew it wasn't just me.
Is there a chance that maybe she goes a little bit harder on you because of the relationship you guys had before she was the supervisor, and she doesn't in any way want to seem like she's playing favorites with you, so she actually goes in a little harder?
I don't know. I honestly don't think I would put it that way. Like, to me, it just feels as if, like, I know she's super stressed about the situation because she's not the greatest at handling stress, and it feels more like I'm her punching bag.
Sure. But maybe it's because you can take it too, right? Like that's the other thing. And oftentimes when somebody gets into any sort of position of power, they start to feel threatened. And I don't know whether your competence is to the point of where she feels threatened by it. But people don't necessarily know how to deal with that power. And they don't necessarily, managing people isn't something that just happens naturally. And I think that if you had this relationship with her before she got this job, I think that you can absolutely have a conversation with her, and you should have a conversation with her. But I think that when you have these conversations, it can't just be a general feeling, okay? Like you need, these conversations need to come from specifics. And you can't go in and say, I feel like you're treating me different, or I feel like you're always this, or I feel like this. You have to go in with specifics and talk about specific incidents where you feel that you are either unfairly treated, or you're confused about something, or somebody does the exact same thing that you did, but you get chastised for it, and they're sort of indifferent to the outcome of somebody else. Like, it needs to be specifics if you're going to get into this.
Yeah, I mean, I contemplated a couple of times to go and talk to her, but I stopped myself mainly because I was just so angry that I didn't want to explode. Like, I wanted to keep calm, cool, collected, and just be able to talk to her about it. And then the day that I decided that I wanted to, she actually, instead of just talking to me one-on-one or like bringing something up, like doing, in my opinion, the mature and first thing to do, she just went directly to our manager, which then resulted to my quote first warning.
So she doesn't like you then, right?
I guess not. No.
Or does she feel threatened by the fact that maybe one day you could replace her? Like, if other people recognize that you're the star, or that you could, benefit from being in that role, like benefit the company from being in that role instead, I wonder if she's feeling threatened. But I think Roz is right. You need to still have that conversation. You mentioned being cool, calm, have that mentality, but go in with evidence.
What's your relationship like with her boss?
Well, her boss is is our big boss, and I thought it was good. Like, he's a pretty easygoing person, right? I when it came down to it, and I was talking to him, he also dismissed me at that point.
He did.
And so
yeah, because he's probably listening to her, right?
Well, exactly. And I know that her taking over as supervisor is just temporary, just because she's covering a mat leave. So it's not going to be something that she's going to be doing forever.
Yeah, a lot of this seems manipulative to me. And I don't know what her game is. There's a lot of things you can do to make your life worse. You can keep it all, you can internalize everything and just go off and cry every now and then. You can live that life if you want to.
But it doesn't sound like she wants to.
I wouldn't really recommend that.
Yeah.
You can think that one of the sort of mature things is to figure out what the problem is and fix a problem.
Yeah.
And if that means going to their boss, but again, it's like you can go to their boss, but if their boss, like maybe they just don't like what you do. You know, there's that too. Like maybe I'm going to throw this out here. I'm not saying it's truth, okay? But what if you're not as good as you think you are, and your old boss let a lot of your bad habits slide, and then all of a sudden you got somebody in there who's been observing your bad habits, and maybe the entire time she was a colleague and not your supervisor, it pissed her off that you got an easy ride, and now she has a little bit of power, and she's going to call you. She's going to check you. Right? Maybe that could be a situation. Whether it's true or not, she may believe that.
Okay.
Couple options there for you.
Yeah. No, good options that I didn't, I contemplated on, but I just didn't know how to go about it. All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Gabby. You have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye, love.
You too. Bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
There's a couple in the States that got into a fight over s'mores, allegedly.
Over a what?
S'mores.
What's that?
You know what s'mores are? Graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate?
Like regular s'mores.
Yeah, South Carolina man told cops that his girlfriend of 2 weeks assaulted him during, quote...
Is that really a girlfriend, though? I don't mean to interrupt.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
During an argument over making s'mores.
That's not your girl. That's some girl at some point, right? 2 weeks.
The 45-year-old woman said the dispute, quote, never got physical and was verbal only. Her 54-year-old boyfriend alleged that she struck him. Didn't say with what during the s'mores dispute. According to the Myrtle Beach Police Department, police officer who took the notes for when they showed up, quote, the victim and offender have been dating for about 2 weeks and lived together the whole time.
Wow. What was the argument over, though?
They never said.
Oh.
They could never say. And then the guy, the boyfriend in this situation, didn't have any bruises on him to corroborate any type of assault that was being accused.
I do like to see, though, that when marshmallow people find other marshmallow people, because it's difficult when you are not a marshmallow person, but you're with somebody who is a marshmallow person. I'm not a marshmallow person.
Neither
I
am
don't
I.
like marshmallows.
Don't.
Catherine
No,
will
at all.
stick one on a stick and go over to the gas stove and turn the burner on and fry one up, and then just
Done.
sit on the couch and eat it like we're camping. And to me, it's just like they're gross.
I don't
I don't even like
marshmallows.
watching somebody eat a marshmallow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Why? Because the squishy sound?
Yeah,
It's almost
just-
like
it's so sticky.
like a banana. Like eating a banana.
You know when you get secondary embarrassment for somebody, right? I get secondary stickiness. Like when I see somebody stick their finger inside a gooey marshmallow and then pull it out, I just know that I get the feeling that finger is going to be sticky all day.
Yeah.
Right? And it does.
No matter how much you wash it.
No matter how much it gets under your nail, it's all white.
Yeah, my family, they love marshmallows.
do.
I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
But like if we are doing something like s'mores.
Yeah.
They're fine in hot chocolate.
No,
Even in hot chocolate. I used to,
Not
as a
even.
kid, I
Yeah.
used to, because you always hear, oh yeah.
you don't use your
have,
hands.
Have marshmallows in hot chocolate. I
No.
used to have it, but then once you get to the marshmallow and you try to eat,
Yeah, no, it's
thanks.
not good. No.
Good without marshmallows in my life.
Me too. I'm not a marshmallow person at all. However, Rice Krispie Squares.
Oh, banger.
okay.
Absolutely. Love Rice
That's what
Krispie
they're
Squares.
for.
Yeah, that's all
That's
they
what
should be
they're-
used
that's
in.
all. They're an ingredient. They shouldn't be
Yes.
eaten on their own,
No.
like a banana.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is... Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Robin. It's Roz Mocha.
Hi, Roz and Mocha.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Why are you on FML?
My boyfriend eats fast food twice a day, every day, and I'm really worried about his health.
Oh.
Damn.
Jeez. Okay, yeah, you says, Razamoka, fix my life. Your boyfriend has a super demanding job and is super dependent on eating fast food. He has fast food twice a day, almost every day, and he's always shuts down or gets super sensitive if I bring up his eating habits. Heart disease runs in his family, and I just want him to take care of himself and live a long, healthy life.
How old is he?
We're both 26.
Oh, okay. And what about like outside of those work hours? What's he eating like when you guys are at home together?
We sometimes, I'm really bad at cooking too, and I don't enjoy grocery shopping. So I sometimes default to eating out.
Uh-huh.
But when I do grocery shop and cook at home, we're eating sandwiches.
How often are you guys grocery shopping and cooking at home?
Well, he doesn't live with me, so I grocery shop twice Probably once every 2 weeks.
Okay, and how many, like, what's your ratio? Like, and in 1 week's time, okay, weekends weekends included. How often are you cooking for yourself versus eating something that is takeout, delivery, processed, whatever?
So I eat takeout 3 times a week.
And then, and then the rest of the time, you're cooking all your meals.
Yeah.
Okay, and
What are you cooking, like healthy stuff, or are you cooking like still fatty food stuff?
My family makes fun of me and says I always default to wraps. So it's always just like a protein with like vegetables in a wrap.
Okay.
And then I eat that.
And your boyfriend, he lives alone or he lives with his family?
He lives with his family. So I live alone and he lives with his family.
Okay, and so his fast food, what is he having? Like a breakfast and a lunch, or like a lunch and a dinner? Is he having like burgers and fries, or what's he having?
So it's a breakfast and it's lunch, and it's usually like a Tim Hortons belt.
Okay.
If it's not that, it's like Taco Bell or Wendy's.
It's a tough one. You have to develop like sort of new habits. And if you don't have a love for food, right? If you don't have that sort of desire to want to do things on your own and want to eat well, the thing that fast food does is it's instant reward, and it's instant reward for stress. It's instant reward for people who are busy. And you could realistically, with you not even talking about the money, but you could take whatever you're spending in a day at a fast food, at fast food restaurants, and go to a grocery store, and you could, buy, things that would be more beneficial to you, but they don't give you that hit of processed fat. When that fat hits your tongue, it is instant reward. When that salt hits you, it's instant reward. When that flavor profile hits you, it's instant reward. So when you are working hard and you are stressed out, it's not the convenience of fast food. It's the fact that it makes you feel good. And it's instantaneous. And getting him past that point, I wouldn't make it about the food. I would make it about the comfort that the food gives him. And find that comfort somewhere else. Don't make it about the health. Don't make it about your mom's a whatever, and all of this stuff. Figure out why he needs that reward and replace the feeling he gets from the fast food.
Okay, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but you have to be on the same page as well. You know what I mean? You can't say, well, I don't like going grocery shopping, and I also eat out 3 days a week, and I also don't enjoy cooking, spending a lot of time. Like, you guys, if you're going to do this, you got to be in this together and have these conversations, right? Because it is just as easy to take that money. I know it's easy. Like, part of it's easy just to order and eat, and all of that takes 10 minutes, right? By the time you order, get your meal, and then finish eating, it is that quick gratification, and knowing how simple and easy it is. I think you guys need to kind of take this on together and be each other's cheerleader.
I feel like I've had conversations with him where I'm just like, I want to be healthier myself, and I kind of make it about me rather than putting it on him. But then he kind of shuts down if I ever suggest something, or it's always me suggesting things, and I just wish I had that support too.
Yeah, nobody wants to be told they're killing themselves. You know what I mean? That's why you can't. If you ever known anybody who smokes cigarettes, you can't tell them to quit smoking. They know. You know what I mean? You're not going to tell them anything they don't already know. But that said, I love tacos, right? Really, really, really love tacos. You can make a big batch of taco meat, keep it in the fridge for 4 days, buy some wraps yourself, and make them in the morning and just stuff them in your bag, and you get that same feeling. You just don't have all the negative effects that come with it. That's all.
So take this on together and support one another. All right. And just don't be nagging, and don't have him nag you back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. You take care.
Yeah. Thanks.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
Get ready, y'all.
Oh, what's happening?
Spooky stuff. Our friend Dan Aykroyd is the host of a show called Hotel Paranormal, and they're dropping season 2 next Friday, 9 p.m. on T&E, Travel and Entertainment Channel.
He's really riding that original Ghostbuster brand.
Oh, big time. Dan Aykroyd narrates as hotel staff and patrons reveal their face-to-face encounters with otherworldly guests. Dramatic recreations and paranormal expert insights bring each bone-chilling revelation to life. That's the description of the show. Dan Aykroyd, not only from, obviously, Ghostbusters.
Obviously.
But, huge believer in the paranormal.
Oh, yeah. And has been forever.
A real long time. Dan Amori talked to Dan Aykroyd. And listen to this.
My wife and I bought a house in California that we didn't know it had a presence in it. It wasn't disclosed on the real estate rider as it was supposed to have legally been. When we sold the house, we had to disclose that it was there was unusual activity. There were two spirits in that house. People thought it was Mama Cass's home, and there was another gentleman who apparently died at a party and was buried in the hillside. Now, my daughter saw him, and I remember one night where I felt something kind of press the mattress down and get into bed with me.
Oh.
We just snuggled up to it and went to sleep on that occasion. And there was psychokinetic activity, like my wife's jewelry did a little dance on the table one night, which we just, like a little viper. Her bracelet got up and did a little kind of a cobra-like dance, which we both saw. And then the purchaser of the house, Beverly D'Angelo, had spoken publicly about her experience.
So not only did he snuggle with the ghost, but some jewelry was doing some weird things on its own.
That's such a flex, too. Like, I understand if somebody says, my God, my house was haunted. I was terrified every single night. Like, that you sort of get. But I find it to be a little bit of a flex when they're like, listen, I lived in a haunted house. One night I was lying there. That ghost crawled into bed with me, and I just snuggled right up to it and fell right to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be that cool.
Yeah, no way in hell am I doing
Come
that.
on.
At all. This is Dan Moore talking to Dan Aykroyd.
For people who, I guess, run into a ghost or experience an encounter for the first time, what do you recommend for them to say, do? Is there something we can prepare ourselves for an experience in our first encounter?
If it's just a simple passing apparition on a loop and it doesn't look like it's acknowledging you, that's a loop. That's a residual energy. That's what that spirit did in that time, in that place. John Landis, my friend, had a beautiful, and he's a skeptic until this day, is skeptical about what he saw. But he lived in a big old house in Hollywood, and every month they used to call the ghost Andy. This ghost would walk through one of the bedroom doors into the hall with his robe, slippers, and sunglasses, go into the bathroom, close the door, and then they wouldn't see him again. And Landis said he saw him got into the bathtub one day and vanished. So that's kind of a loop, residual haunting. If the spirit looks at you and acknowledges you, and you know there's some kind of communication, usually that's not good. They're on the attack. If you are to be so fortunate and have a benevolent encounter, and you can stand your ground and not get chilled and run the other way, it's an extraordinary opportunity to touch the other side, to touch another interdimensional plane of existence.
Do you remember when Bobby Brown said that he had sex with a ghost? When he was talking to Robin Roberts?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
So weird.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Turn my computer up for 1 second. Let me play this for you.
Come on, that didn't happen.
Yeah. This is like Bobby Brown and Dan Aykroyd need to hang. You know what I mean? Listen to this.
I can't even believe I'm going to ask you this, but I have to.
Yeah. Listen.
You had sex with a ghost?
A ghost, yeah.
Come on, man. Tell me about it.
I moved into this house. I bought this mansion in Georgia. So this was a really, really spooky place. But yes, one time I woke up and, yeah, a ghost. I was being mounted by a ghost.
Stop.
I wasn't high.
That was my next question.
I wasn't high.
That was my next question.
Wasn't high at all.
Were you tripping?
No, I was not tripping.
You've had quite a life.
I've had some crazy situations.
Oh, man.
Right?
Dan Aykroyd, thank you so much for joining us on the Roz Mocha Show. Hotel Paranormal Season 2 airs 9 p.m. starting next Friday, which is July 2nd, exclusively on Travel and Entertainment.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, season 2 of Too Hot to Handle. First 4 episodes are on Netflix right now. The show is wild. The show is crazy. It's wilder and crazier than season 1.
Yeah, the rules, of course, is they take like a super horny group of young partiers and they stick them on an island. And the game is you're not allowed to do anything. You can't make out with anybody. You can't touch anybody. No massaging of someone else. And you all sleep together. And then whoever lasts the longest, y'all win money. That's the premise of Too Hot to Handle.
Season 1 alum Harry, who was famously with and then broke up with and then with again and then I think broke up with and I think maybe with again, Francesca. Anyway, Harry from season 1 joins us on the Roz Mocha Show. Harry!
Woo! Good morning.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm a little bit slow today. How you guys feeling?
Yeah,
We're good. Are you a little bit slow because you watch all 4 episodes of season 2 of Too Hot to Handle?
I'm actually halfway through the 3rd one. Have you guys seen any of it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we watch it.
So what are your thoughts so
nuts?
far? This looks like to me that your season blew me away. Season 1 blew me away. But this looks like the horniest collection of people I've ever seen assembled for one television show in my entire life.
I don't know how they did it or where they found them because it's literally it's just like I thought we were bad. I was like, you know what? You can't get much worse than us. And then literally they're like he's there's one moment and the boys got out the door.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Who looks the most, as far as, and for people who aren't familiar with the show, if you do anything, if you make out with somebody, if you make out with yourself, you lose money for the group. Who to you at the stage you are right now in episode 3 looks the most problematic when it comes to losing money for the group?
It's Cam. Like Cam is just so bad news. He's just crazy.
Cam don't care about anything at all.
He's with a like, he doesn't care. It's crazy.
But what is that actually like now that you've gone through it? Because they only give you so many beds, you're forced to share a bed. And keeping your things to yourself and not building those physical connections during the day seems easy. You can build space between you. But at night, when you have to sleep in the bed with somebody that you are attracted to and you can't do it, what's that part like? Like, what's the overnight like?
Like, it's literally like being told you can't have a piece of candy and then just putting it in front of you. Like, it's literally hell. And like, I find that like when you're in the lion's den at night, the lion has to eat. So for me, I'm like a lion attacking a carcass, like a wildebeest. I have to go in. So I'm just like, I just get in that mode late night. And I'm just like, I have to go in and do it. So I couldn't imagine what they're going through.
Harry from season 1 of Too Hot to Handle is with us on the Roz Mocha Show watching Too Hot to Handle season 2 right now. Who in the cast that you see right now, if you were there on that resort in Turks and Caicos, would you be attracted to? Who do you think you would be able to or try to form a connection with?
The thing is, they're all so sexy, but Emily is just such a naughty, like she's just so naughty. You can tell she's got like a bit of a dark side and she's trying to be like fun and like playful, but she's just like, I know you've got some skeletons in your closet. So I feel like Emily definitely, hands down, would definitely be my pick.
And what's the status with you and Francesca right now? Because you guys were back together and like hanging out for a little bit, but what's the status now?
She's blocked me again, so I don't think it's going anywhere.
Because I don't know. It's so difficult for the timelines because it's like you don't know when things happen. Like I saw pictures of you guys together, and then I saw a quote where I think she called you a POS, but I just didn't know which one happened first. So you are now in the world of she's blocked you all over the place.
Well, she usually calls me a POS all the time anyway.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
It's just like, that's a 24-hour thing. So it could be
Fair
at
enough.
any point of the day. But yeah, we gave it a shot. Well, not really. We tried, and then it got leaked, and then it was just full noise again.
Yeah. Are you with anybody right now?
There's actually someone in my bed right now. I swear to God.
Bro. Yo, you know the last time we talked to you, right? When you were not with Francesca and you were doing this Zoom call with us from your car because somebody was in your bed at the time. Now you were in your living room with somebody in your bed today. The person that's in your bed today, is that the same person that was in your bed the last time we talked to you?
Absolutely not. Not a chance. I'll never talk to that other person again.
Oh my
no
God.
way. I actually got served the other day. I've never been served before. I'm so excited. I got served because her ex is crazier than me and is trying to sue her for seeing other guys. And for some reason, he got my name. And then, so I was like, you know what? Hey, we're never going to talk.
Only Harry would get sued for dating somebody's ex-girlfriend. That's like a you exclusive, man.
Oh my God.
Right.
So other than all of that, we know that you're a super busy guy. You have a podcast, a Tap In podcast, where you drop new episodes on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Congratulations on that. And your sunglass business that you have going is like hugely successful. Tell us about that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we've been working on sunglass business for a minute, where we, for every pair of sunglasses sold, we pull 180 plastic bottles from the ocean. So we're just trying to do something different. Look, I know I'm a bit of a POS, so I'm trying to do something that's like a little bit good for the environment and make me not look like such a bad guy. So we're trying our best over here.
And the sunglass company is called what?
It's called Kensington, but it's spelled a little bit funny. It's KENSNGTN.
And
I bought a pair.
You did, Maury.
I bought a pair. They are amazing sunglasses, but they don't make me look as hot as you.
Well, hey, come on now.
That's not in the guarantee, man.
I thought it would be in the fine print.
That's not the mission statement.
Yo, Harry, you know we love you so much. Thank you for always making time for us on the Roz and Mocha Show. All the best, and we can't wait. Maybe we'll catch up with you after the next round of episodes for Too Hot to Handle Season 2 drop to get your thoughts on that. We'd love to chat with you again.
Of course. I love you guys. Thank you so much for
Right
having
on,
me.
man.
Ask him the question.
Oh, yeah. No, this is like the third or fourth time that we've talked to you. So we have to ask you this question because we ask everybody between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Come on, guys. You can't be doing that.
Everybody answers, dude. Every single person who's ever been on this show answers the
Bro,
question.
don't make me call my lawyer and serve you.
Look, you know I'm a slut, so I love everyone.
Love you, Harry.
Love you guys.
Later.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
3 weeks ago, when we found out that there were 215 remains of Indigenous and Native children found at a residential school site, yesterday it was announced that 750 more unmarked graves were found in Saskatchewan. That is 2 schools of what were 150 in this country.
So they're going to be looking.
2.
Yeah.
215 at one, 751 at another one, at 2 schools. The school where they found the site yesterday was a former residential school built in 1899 by the Roman Catholic missionaries. The federal government began funding the school in 1901 and then took it over in 1969. We know the federal government has offered $27 million in funding for all First Nation communities to help identify and investigate marked and unmarked burial grounds near those residential schools. But it's crazy when you think of even a dollar amount or even the amount of help. It's like clean water is a problem, right? Like when you get down to it, it's like the help you're offering now, like you're offering. You can offer all the help you want now to help find dead babies, right? But it's like up to this point, the amount of help and that has been offered isn't enough help to get clean water, right? So the problem is so goddamn deep that you don't even know what to do with this information. That's 2 schools, 215 at one, 751 at another, and there was 150 of them in this country.
So they're going to be searching all of them.
They should. They should. The Indian Residential School Survivors Society number is 1-800-721-0066. The national crisis line for anybody who needs that is 1-866-925-4419. Okay?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
John Cena. Did you think John Cena was going to be back in WWE at all?
Yeah.
You did?
At some point.
You think so?
Yeah.
Isn't he
too legit to quit?
No, not too legit to quit, but too old?
No.
You don't
Why
think
would you
so?
say that?
I don't know.
Undertaker's like 100. Actually, no, Undertaker's dead. So.
Yeah. Truth. Has been since the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So John Cena was on, also John Cena in the new Suicide Squad. And the new trailer.
yo,
he plays such
so
a dummy in that movie. Oh my god! And I don't know. I
He's
only
so
know the movie
funny.
from the trailer.
Yeah.
But John Cena plays such a dummy.
Also, John Cena in the new Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. F9, which drops today.
Yeah.
He's doing well for himself for somebody who cannot be seen. This is. We can only play the audio because there's no point in playing video because he wasn't actually there. This is Cena talking to Fallon.
There's rumors that you're returning to the ring.
Those rumors are true. I'll definitely be back to the WWE. I don't know when.
Okay, but so this got my fans freaking out. Okay.
Yeah, so I posted that back in May. I was feeling rather nostalgic about the WWE, and I just wanted to post the logo. And some people took it as I was returning immediately, which that's not the case. But I haven't had my last match, and I can't wait to have my next.
Well, you have giant movies coming out, like giant films.
Well, I'm very fortunate. You know, F9's this week. I'm very excited to see that.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, currently filming Peacemaker. A comedy named Vacation Friends is coming out.
Vacation Friends looks awesome, by the way.
All these opportunities have led to more opportunities.
So who should that last match be? If Cena goes back and does his final match, because that's what he said, that he doesn't feel like he's had his final match yet. So I don't think he's going to go back and have some super long run.
No.
But if he does go back to like a Mania and has one final match, who's he in the ring with?
John Cena is 100% going to
Sham.
be back in August.
Okay.
And he'll take on current WWE champion Roman Reigns.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Were you really?
It's going to be SummerSlam against Roman Reigns.
You think so?
100%.
Yeah.
But he can't win, though. He can't win.
No.
Because he
No,
can't
you
go
know
on a
what?
title run, though.
No, and I'm going to tell you something. I actually disagree. I think he will win, and I'll tell you why.
Look at you with the finger up at me.
No. That's not the rule. Those aren't the rules of wrestling.
I'm going to tell you why. He is one win away from surpassing Ric Flair's record of most WWE championships. And I think Vince McMahon and the WWE want to give him that record. So I think he wins.
Oh, wow.
The other rumor, crazy rumor, if we're talking wrestling rumors
Yeah,
here, guys,
okay.
is that The Rock is going to be making an appearance at SummerSlam as well. Here's why I don't think that John Cena is going to win. Because traditionally in wrestling, if we talk in wrestling, guys, right, is before you retire, you're supposed to put the next guy over. You're supposed to lose that match to give the next guy the next kind of superstar that moment to shine.
Okay, yes.
So I think John Cena will show up at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
He will fight Roman Reigns, and it will be his retirement match, and he'll lose to Roman Reigns.
Oh.
Because Roman Reigns, right now, they're still trying to build him as like the future of the WWE.
Is that what you think, Mocha?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter what you think.
Trolled by my own joke.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's do the news.
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
Is Pete Davidson done with SNL? The final episode of SNL this season, a few people seem to be saying goodbye. They're sort of,
saying goodbye without saying goodbye?
Yeah, basically, yeah, they did. A lot of the cast members did because there's going to be some real big turnovers this year. But one of the big ones is, will Pete be back? And this is Pete Davidson addressing that on Gold Derby.
I mean, right now it's still all up in the air. I got to talk to Lauren and see what the best move is for. It's a big cast. There's a lot of new guys in there, and there's a lot of great new talent that it's their time to shine. So, I have no idea what's going on right now, but I do know that whatever it is, I'll always work with Broadway Video and Lauren and a bunch of those guys, because we're a family. So we're like the Fast and the Furious. It's all about family over there. So I wish I had more, but that's pretty much
He ain't going back.
No, I don't think so. He's doing better in movies anyway.
That's fine.
Right?
I'm good with that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Sarah Paulson was on Jimmy Kimmel. And now I don't know exactly when this happened, but it was before 2006. I'm going to say it was sometime in either the late 90s or early 2000s.
Okay.
But late writer Gore Vidal was having a party, and Sarah Paulson was invited to this party by Carrie Fisher.
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia.
Okay,
While
R.I.P..
while she was still alive. And the way that Sarah Paulson describes this to Jimmy Kimmel is it was a celebrity makeout party.
What?
Shirley MacLaine was, I mean, I think Queen Latifah was there. All these people were there. And I was obviously panicked because neurotic. Did
people make out?
I didn't see anyone make out, but there was a hat with names in it. And you were supposed to make out with whomever you pulled out of the hat.
Really? Wow.
And Matthew Perry pulled my name out of the hat and then promptly left the room.
No.
And I was like...
Wait, how do you know he pulled it out?
Because I saw him. He was like, oh, well. And he's like, I got you. And I was like, well, let's kiss. And he was like, no. And he,
What?
wasn't. It just, we knew each other a little bit through one of my very best friends in the world.
Was
and
it
so
awkward
it was
because you knew
awkward
each other?
Yeah, but then we ended up playing romantic partners years later on a show called Studio 60, and then I got my kiss.
Oh, you did?
I got several kisses.
Oh, but
Isn't that
even
weird?
still, she denied kissing.
Yeah.
Chandler Bing.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
So the celebrities were having like this
A makeup party.
fun makeup party?
Yeah. You ever have a makeup party? You ever go to one of those?
Not where you put your hand in a bowl and pull out a name. You?
No?
I assume you.
Yeah, probably. My God.
I assume so.
Spin the bottle?
Yeah, spin the bottle's not kind of fun though.
No,
That's similar to a makeout party.
It is very similar to a makeout party,
But not as fun.
No, it's not as fun. Yeah, spin the bottle's not nearly as fun. Because some people go overboard with spin the bottle.
What do you mean? How do you go overboard?
Well, it's no fun when you play spin the bottle where like people have already made out with each other, where they're already very used to it. So two people who like
You want to
make
be
out-
first.
Yeah, like
Then that should be in the rules then. Okay, spin again.
Well, yeah, then you get a lot of that on spin the bottle. No, middle, spin
Yeah.
it. And you get people leaning. Like when it starts, like when it's your turn to spin, not that this
That's
happened
why you
to me.
put tape down. You got to stay in your zone.
No, not that it happened to me, but you get like, you spin the bottle and then it starts to slow down and somebody thinks it's coming towards them and then they really, really lean out of the way.
No, it's not pointing at me.
Yeah, it's not me. Not me.
You never played though, right, Maury? Or did you?
No, I never have.
No?
You never have?
We should
And I-
play in here.
Yes, I got a bottle
Stop
right now.
it, Maury. Stop it. Jeez, man, we're at work.
Inappropriate.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Joy Behar sort of apologizing. I want your opinion on where you think this apology ranks in celebrity apologies.
Okay.
So they were talking about Carl Nassib, who's the NFL player yesterday, who came out and became the first active NFL player to be openly gay. And so this is part of the discussion where Joy cracks a joke about it.
Las Vegas. Okay.
The Las Vegas Raiders. You know, Anna, after they said penetration in the end zone, they lost me. So, Sonny, is this a sign that this...
Oh, boy.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, old joke, whatever. What are you going to do? Did you see this morning? Yeah. I want to
Leave
play
it
let me play the apology before I get your thoughts on this more. So then Joy came back, and then she said this.
I just long for
100
the
meters
days
in a
when you
little
can
over
just
10
be
seconds.
gay in the world, and it doesn't become a big deal. By the way, that inappropriate joke I made for daytime television, scratch it. Make believe I never said it. We'll be right back.
Okay, so that joke that I made, scratch it, pretend I never said it. But she never said that the joke was inappropriate. She said that joke I made was inappropriate for daytime television, is
Plus,
what she said.
She is only reacting because nobody laughed. Like, she is only apologizing because nobody appreciated the joke.
Yeah,
But she also, as you said, daytime television. So is that joke okay later?
Yeah. Listen, and don't get me wrong. Do I think that Joy Behar is in any way homophobic?
No.
Do I think that Joy Behar is any of those things that anybody would say a joke in a derogatory way to hurt somebody? No. Do I think that her apology for that joke being inappropriate only for daytime television ranks very low on the apologies for offensive
I don't even think she
jokes?
came out. I think somebody told her that joke and she just then regurgitated it on the show.
No. She said that on her own.
Yeah, that's a classic, sort of, gay reference, sports
But boy,
commentating,
Twitter went after
everything
her.
else. Yeah, no, they did. And how do you feel about the apology more?
I think that the joke, because I've heard the joke a million times.
Who has not, right?
The apology was a little lackluster,
Right.
which makes me believe you didn't really want to apologize, but you felt you had no choice, and you wanted to apologize right away,
Right. Now,
so that nobody can
But she
come after
didn't
you.
apologize.
Now, yeah, exactly. Now the question becomes, knowing what we know about Joy Behar, and we've already gone through, nobody in this room thinks
No,
that the
God,
woman is
no.
homophobic. Does she need to do any more than what she's already
Absolutely
done?
not.
Okay,
No, that's
thank
it.
you.
We're done with it.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Michael B. Jordan announced last night on Instagram that he would be finding a new name for his recently launched rum line called Juve. Did I say that right?
Juve.
Juve?
Yeah, Juve.
Thank you. Now, according to the box, when you buy Juve, right, it's like high-end rum. Everybody's getting in the high-end liquor game, right?
Yeah.
They say Juve is derived from Antillean Creole French term meaning daybreak. Juve originated in the pre-dawn streets of Trinidad as a celebration of emancipation combined with Carnival season to serve as the festival in the festival's informal commencement. Crafted on those same lands, Juve rum is a tribute to the start of the party. Now, Michael B. Jordan is not from Trinidad. Michael B. Jordan is not from the Caribbean, and a lot of people had a problem with this. Nicki Minaj tweeted out, being like, "You just walk away, change the name, and just get on with your life."
Like, don't make rum?
No, just don't use that name.
Oh.
Because part of the problem, okay, was that when he filed the trademark for Juve, in his trademark application, he said that the word has no particular meaning in a foreign language.
Oh, so y'all didn't do your research.
So it was appropriation at its worst, basically, right? It was, let's capitalize on something that means a lot to certain people, but completely disregard its meaning and existence and place in the hearts of those specific people.
Oh, Michael.
So,
B.
so when you talk about appropriation and sort of capitalizing on other people's cultures, you don't always see somebody capitalize on somebody else's culture, but then almost disassociate that thing with their culture.
Right.
It's weird. Like it
See,
was.
that
It was
part
a
I didn't
weird
know. I
one.
read about the story, and
It was
I
a
saw
weird one.
people trying to cancel Michael B. and everything.
Yeah,
That's my guy.
Yeah, and I'm
right?
not. And listen, and I'm not saying it. None of this did. I'm not saying this didn't come from the heart. So his apology reads this: I just want to say on behalf of myself and my partners, our intention was never to offend or hurt a culture that we love and respect. We had hoped to celebrate and shine a positive light. He said, "These last few days, I've done a lot of listening, a lot of learning, and engaging in countless community conversations. We hear you, I hear you, and want to be clear that we're in the process of renaming. We sincerely apologize and look forward to introducing a new brand we can all be proud of."
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Okay, explain to me who Trick Daddy is.
Oh, back in the day, Trick Daddy had probably one of his most popular songs was called "I'm a Thug." Sounds like this. And he's like huge in the South. Like he's a legend in the South.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And
he is in the eye of the Beyonce beehive right now.
Why? What happened?
I've also been in the eye of the Beyonce beehive. It's not a fun place to be. So he was on Clubhouse. And
God.
Clubhouse, for people who don't know, it's like a video conference, like a giant Zoom call, and you can open up a Clubhouse room, and then people can just come in, and it's about a lot of people just yelling at each other.
Yeah. There's no moderation whatsoever. Everyone's just like talking over one another.
Yes.
It just sounds like a mess.
So Trick Daddy, not a fan of Beyonce.
Wow.
Not a fan of Jay-Z.
Wow.
Trick Daddy, you got to listen to this. It's a little bit difficult to hear because Clubhouse in itself is just a disaster.
Yeah.
But this is Trick Daddy saying that Beyonce, one, is only in it for the money, two, is a lousy singer, and three, Jay-Z doesn't deserve anything, any of the accolades that he's received.
Oh, wow.
Beyonce because she see money. Beyonce ain't trying to give back the music and none of that. Beyonce don't write music, and Betty could sing her. Beyonce can't sing. Man, I watched my godmama train Beyonce give her vocal lessons all her career, man. Beyonce can't go. I'm gonna say my unpopular opinion right now. Beyonce is to R&B what Jay-Z is to New York. That's why they together. Jay-Z ain't never won the greatest rapper alive. Whoever put him on a level of that. New York lost Biggie. They needed a hero. They wanted to be the mega of hip-hop, and they just handed it over to Jay-Z.
Oh, wow. What's wrong with you,
Yeah.
Trick Daddy?
Not a fan. Not a fan.
You can sit down.
Beyonce can't sing. She doesn't write her own stuff. She doesn't give back. Jay-Z, New York was just looking for another hero. Is that what he said? Did he say Biggie died and they were just looking for another hero?
They were looking for somebody else.
Gotcha.
To give the crown.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He didn't claim it.
Wow.
Come on, Trick Daddy. Sit down. Nobody cares about your old ass anyway.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Cara Delevingne, who I love, I think she's awesome, was in Architectural Digest and doing a tour of her house. And
Oh, yeah. They do all those videos. See them all the time.
she's one of these people that decided to go with the Alice in Wonderland theme. So everything is just chaotic and purple and weird and
In the whole house?
large. And yeah, like the bedroom, definitely.
Yeah.
The rest of the house is like, I couldn't be there. I would be so uncomfortable, and there's so much going on.
Yeah.
There's just things everywhere, and everything is like mismatched, and it looks like a flea market, right? Like everything is just so
Like a thrift shop.
Yeah, but like it's just, I mean, beautiful, right?
Yeah.
But there's too much going on. And she, I guess, wanted to test the lengths that her designer would go.
Okay.
So what she requested was a vagina tunnel in the
Excuse
wall.
me? A what?
So it's a panel in her wall.
Yeah.
That you open the wood panel. It's a secret panel compartment.
Yeah.
And then once you open it, there's a piece of the wall, like 3 feet by 4 feet kind of thing, that looks, as soon as you open the wall, it looks like a giant vagina made out of
Okay.
fabric.
Okay.
Like pink fabric. And then you crawl through it. And then you crawl to the other side of the house. And in the other side of the house, you come out of a washing machine.
Thank God you didn't say like a butt or something like that.
Listen to Cara Delevingne explain it.
This is my vagina tunnel. Shall I go through? I'm going to go through. Oh, God. And then you're inside. I come in here to think, I come in here to create, I feel inspired in the vagina tunnel. So I'm going to show you where this leads. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh! See? Rebirthed and cleansed.
That is the first time I've heard Cara Delevingne speak.
Yeah.
I had no idea she had a British accent.
Really?
I thought she was American the whole time.
Interesting.
I get she's from the UK?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Really, huh?
Yeah. This is the very first time I've heard her speak.
That's wild. Not what you expected.
No, I always thought she was from like California or something.
Yeah.
From New
really,
York,
huh?
yeah.
Interesting. That's like the first time I heard Kate Moss's voice. I had seen
What's her
Kate.
voice
I'd seen Kate Moss my entire life, but
Yeah.
then like every now and then she would say one line in a commercial that was just like super overly produced and everything else. But not that long ago, like maybe a couple years ago, I heard it like an interview with Kate Moss, and it sounded super weird. Like I was like, that's not in my head what Kate Moss is supposed to sound
What's
like.
her voice like?
No, like she has an accent, but she just doesn't sound like, to me, that voice isn't what is supposed to come out of that face. Like I just created it
Hold
in
on,
my
I have
head.
something here.
In my head all these
He
years ago.
steps out of his shoes and reaches down to take them off, each of his socks, never taking his eyes off me. I am rendered speechless by the look of hunger in his eyes.
Oh,
Yeah, you
excuse
know
me,
what?
Kate Moss.
That actually does. That's pretty much what I thought Kate Moss would sound
Really,
like. Yeah.
huh? What
Yeah.
was that you played?
Um,
That sounded like something you read in the vagina tunnel at Cara Delevingne's house.
is Kate Moss reading 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh, hell. Please.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Scooter Braun is telling his side of the story when it comes to the Taylor Swift drama and her masters and buying Big Machine and selling them and everything else. This, of course, started when he bought Big Machine for $300 million, who were the owners of Taylor's previous albums and master recordings. Taylor said that she was sad and grossed out at the time. She called out Scooter for incessant manipulative bullying that she allegedly received at his hands for years, and said that him having her masters was the, quote, worst case scenario. And then in November 2020, it was revealed that Scooter actually sold Taylor's master recordings to somebody else. In this new interview, they asked the question, how do you view what went down in retrospect. And he said, I regret it, and it makes me sad that Taylor had that reaction to the deal. All of what happened has been very confusing and not based on anything factual. I don't know what story she was told. I asked her for a sit-down meeting several times, but she refused. I offered to sell her catalog back to her and went under an NDA, but her team refused. And then also in November of 2020, when Scooter sold her masters to another corporation, Taylor herself said that he would never even quote my team a price, and that the NDA he wanted her to sign would, quote, silence her forever. And then they asked Scooter, some say it's just business, but this felt like it had a personal tone. And he says, the thing that stuck out the worst was the word bullying. I'm firmly against anyone ever being bullied. I always try to lead with appreciation and understanding. The one thing I am proudest of in that moment was that my artists and my team stood by me. They know my character and my truth. So
did they ask him specifically, like, did you say, or did your team say to Taylor, yes, you can have your masters back, but it's alleged out there that you part of the deal is that you're not to speak bad of Scooter Braun anymore.
Well, I mean, everybody has NDAs,
Yeah.
right? They're so standard in show business and everything else. I think, though, if I remember correctly, part of the deal when the offer came through to sell her masters back was that she would have to then stay with Big Machine.
Gotcha.
And she, I believe, chose, I think the quote was, I'm going to bet on my future and not my past. So that's when she left, walked away from the deal to own her masters and went and signed that new deal. And then, of course, now she's re-recording everything else, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so that is the latest on that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Colin and Justin, who we love a whole lot on this show, design superstars. They do these amazing cottage projects all across Canada. They got this great book. And I was following them on social, and they were doing their first sort of big travel, like work trip, basically, since COVID happened. And they were going to Quebec City, and they got in like a real brutal car accident. I guess like a cop car was chasing somebody who was on the run, and then the cop car wound up plowing into their cab that they were in.
Oh my
so here, Damon Morey talked to Colin and Justin last night.
We were heading off to Quebec City on business, and we'd been there for 50 minutes. When we got into a taxi, went round the corner from the hotel, and suddenly we were T-boned by a speeding police car.
We were really, really badly hit. I've got 2 broken ribs. I've got my minor bruising to my lungs. Colin's got whiplash. He's got bruising and huge body aches. But hey, we're alive.
Well, if you've ever watched those videos of crash test dummies on YouTube, it was exactly like that. We came out of a side street and a police car was zooming towards us, and we all looked at it, and it just came right at us like a bullet, whacked right into the side of the car, and the car moved. And there was another car on the other side of the road that got hit as well. But we were all catapulted up in the air. And luckily, we were all wearing seatbelts.
Wow.
Oh, my God. My heart.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And Harrison Ford has already been injured on the set of Indiana Jones 5.
Yo, that man is like 80 years old.
It's close. He's 78. He's 78, but he wasn't even injured in like on set. He was injured like in a rehearsal for a fight scene.
Oh no.
So a Disney spokesperson said, quote, in the course of rehearsing for a fight scene, Harrison sustained an injury involving his shoulder. Production will continue while the appropriate course of treatment is evaluated, and the filming schedule will be reconfigured as needed in the coming weeks.
Just get that man a chair and tell him to sit there.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Sexy Beasts is this new, I know Too Hot to Handle just dropped on Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is like the horniest group of people you've ever seen in your life. They just stick them on an island and tell them they can't touch each other. It's incredible.
Yeah,
This season
love
of
it.
Too Hot to Handle is wild.
First 4 episodes are on Netflix right now.
But Netflix just dropped the trailer for Sexy Beasts, and Sexy Beasts is a new dating show. It was actually a show back in 2014 in the UK, and then it just went away.
Is it like the Masked Singer for dating?
Yeah, because it's ridiculous. So they take these singles and they put them in these very elaborate prosthetics and costumes. Like, it's not like a Halloween mask. Like, they make them look like movie monsters. Like, we're talking hours and hours and hours in a makeup and prosthetic chair to get them to not look like regular people, but they make them look like devils and a dolphin. One guy looks like a tin water bucket.
There's
Somebody
one-
else looks like a cat.
There's a panda, and I
panda?
believe like an alien or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
like a weird alien thing.
Yo, I'm here for it. Though.
Anyway, here's a little bit of the trailer for Sexy Beasts.
Welcome to the strangest blind date ever.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Could you fall in love with someone based on personality alone?
What is your ideal woman?
Personality, for me, is everything.
You're the best looking devil I've ever seen.
This is really weird right now.
Would you count this as a weird experience for you?
Cheers.
Like, you remember when those stories came out of the furries, the people who would go to these like
They hang out in
gatherings and they just
Right?
dress up like stuffed animals and
Yeah, yeah.
like mess around and stuff like that. That's what this looks like to me.
But that's
right?
not the point. The point of this one is, can you see like the inner beauty?
Is that the point? No, it's not. It's to watch people who are dressed like hammerhead sharks and a panda make out.
Yeah.
That's the point of the show,
Fair.
right?
Yeah. Also, I'm definitely watching the show.
Absolutely.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Harry Styles fans are upset today.
What?
The stands. Well, because Olivia Wilde was out driving around in Harry's Range Rover. And
What?
of course, they know that it's Harry's Range Rover.
Why? Oh, does he have like a license plate?
No,
This is like Harry's Range?
No, I don't even think he has that. They just know. They just know what she drives, I guess, and what he drives. And
Yeah.
they were all upset because, they don't
like
get
if
to
someone
marry.
drove my Yaris.
Yeah, people would be very upset over that.
Like, why isn't she in her Subaru?
Yes. Why is she driving his car and not marrying me?
Right.
That's the conversation. Those nut jobs.
I should be Mrs. Styles.
Yes, you bozos. He's not going to marry you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gigi Hadid was at a press conference for a Ralph Lauren fragrance.
Yeah.
And during the event, she was asked what some of the highlights of motherhood are.
The highlight is, I would say, like the most simple things, just seeing her learn something new every day, even if it's like picking up a cup or like putting a ball in a hole. Like you just think they're the best, most genius thing that's ever been born. But yeah, just like the small things.
Roz and Mocha Q&A.
All right, here we go with some questions and answers, of course. Rayman46, what up? It's Roz and Mocha. How are you?
Hey, Roz and Mocha, I'm good.
You a little bit sleepy today?
No.
Where are you? Where are you right now?
I'm in my basement, actually.
What goes on down there?
I'm about to exercise when I'm finished with you guys, so
Oh, okay.
just getting ready.
What's the routine you're working on today?
These days, because gyms are closed, I just mainly do some stretches and cardio.
All right, that's all you can do. You keep at it, brother.
Yeah.
What's your question?
So I'm Guyanese, and Mocha, you're Guyanese. So my question was...
Shem's also Guyanese.
Oh, yeah, and Deepa.
And Deepa, yeah.
So my question was, being Guyanese, have you ever gotten in trouble because your mom told you to put chicken in the sink and you forgot?
Oh my God. Like so many times.
I've gotten in trouble for that. I'm not even Guyanese.
Yeah, I think that's a universal thing when your ma calls and says, yo, take whatever out of the freezer because I got to cook it tonight. And you forget. And then, oh boy, yeah. You get yelled at.
The worst days of my life where I really felt like I let my mom down, right? Like where I felt like a bad son. It's not that you ignored them and it's not that you sort of neglected your responsibilities. Is there was two things that could happen in my house that just showed you didn't care and you let her down and they hurt more than any other days. And there were the days where I didn't take the food out of the freezer and put it in the sink for her. But the worst days was the days where I would forget both my responsibilities, which is my mom would come home and she would realize that A, I didn't take the food out of the freezer, and B, I forgot to tape Another World for her.
Oh. Them soap operas?
Oh, my God. If my mom had a bad day and she got home and there was no Another World on that VHS... It was my worst day.
It was in our house, Young and the Restless for my mom.
Was it?
Yeah. You know my mom still watches Young and the Restless
she
now?
really,
Keeps
huh?
up with all the storylines.
Jeez,
Yes.
that's a lifetime.
For my dad, it was MASH.
MASH what?
No, MASH.
What were you
That
MASH?
was his show that he always
Oh,
did.
the TV show.
But wasn't that on at night, though? You didn't have to tape MASH for him,
He was
though.
never home at night.
Oh, true that.
Damn.
Man,
You go,
ladies.
Frank.
What's up, Frank? Hey.
Yeah, no, for us, Ray, in my house, it was, yes, if you didn't take any of the meat that my mom asked me to take out of the freezer, or my family was notorious for buying, like, in abundance, milk. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we would take the milk bags and put them in the freezer.
Right.
And then
Why would you buy so much milk?
I
all
don't
at
know.
once?
I have no idea. Maybe because it was on sale. Who knows? That's the only thing I could think of, right?
Yeah.
Like my family, notorious when growing up, anytime something was on sale, it was like, well, we need a lot of these because it's on sale.
Did your folks buy the bags of milk and stick those in the freezer? Is that what it
Yes,
was?
it was
Okay.
bags
I've
of milk.
never had defrosted milk.
And
it tastes
so
the same.
the defrosted milk, or sorry, once you take the milk and you put it in the freezer, and once it reaches that freezing point, it turns yellow.
Yeah.
So it almost
Ew.
looks gross. Like when you take that the frozen milk bag out of the freezer and you plop it in the sink, it's just this brick of yellow.
And then it turns white?
And then it turns red once it's defrosted.
Yeah.
And it just tastes fine.
That's
and it tastes totally fine. It tastes totally fine. What did you have most of? Like if you could pinpoint one meal that was sort of like maybe not the best thing your mom cooked, but it was her weeknight staple. Like what did you guys have more than anything else?
Oh God, we had a lot of curry.
Yeah.
And it was either with roti or with rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of that. It was either beef or chicken.
Yeah, we always did. Well, I think my mom's number one was just because it was easy. Was always like a pot like spaghetti, right? Or what else would it be? Yeah, I guess spaghetti would sort of be the number one thing. Or she would make a stew, and we would just like go crack on the stew, and it would just be great. Or like she would do these hot hamburger sandwiches, which was like a thick piece of toast. Okay. And she would buy like special bread where it was like a super thick piece of toast, and you would toast that, and then she would make hamburger patties as you would just like a regular hamburger on a pan, right? And then she would take that piece of toast, and it was only got one piece of toast. There was no top, right? It was one piece of toast, and the piece of toast would go on the bottom. Then the hamburger patty would go on the piece of toast. You would put it on a plate beside a giant heaping spoonful of mashed potatoes, and then cover the whole thing in gravy, and you would just eat it with a fork and knife, right? So like that hamburger on thick toast with the gravy and the fork and knife, and yeah, we had that a lot.
Rayman 46. Before you get to your workout, you got to answer the question. So, like, did you ever get in trouble for not taking the chicken out of the freezer and putting it in the sink before your mom got home?
Oh, I can't even count the times, and sometimes she would even tell me to like season it and put it in the oven before she gets home.
Oh, no. So what happened when she got home? Ass
She
whooping,
would get
right?
really, really mad.
Yeah.
Because she would come home at like 5 and there's no chicken in the oven. And it's like, now I have to go and defrost meat and cook it.
Yeah. Can't do
That's
that.
the worst. Oh, you know what the worst is? When the food isn't like hasn't been taken out during the day.
Yeah.
But the food still needs to be made.
Yeah.
So I guess in your house it would have been the same, Ray, where the chicken or the ground beef would, in frozen state, have to go in the microwave and be defrosted.
It's such a tricky thing, though.
I know,
because
and
you go 30 seconds too long,
so
and you got gray
long.
hamburger that you can't use for anything.
And it would take forever
Yeah.
because parts of the meat would be fully defrosted,
Yeah.
but then you get like right in the middle and it's still frozen. Oh, those are the worst
just a
days.
bucket of warm water, and then you're good. Just stick the whole thing in there.
Ray, thank you so much, brother. You enjoy your workout, man.
You guys have a good day.
Ray, between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
So I just wanted to preface this by saying that I was the person that said the show should be called Roz Yells at a Cloud.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
But Roz did used to be my favorite. And then my opinion kind of changed because I realized Roz is complaining all the time and he's really grumpy. So my favorite is Mocha.
But okay, if my complaining all the time is what lost me as your favorite, then what made me your favorite at the time? Because that's all I've ever done.
Roz, like, you're definitely the funnier person of the show.
Oh, wow.
And I do like your humor, your dry humor, your sarcasm. I do like that, but you just go on these boomer rants all the time, and it gets annoying.
So funny.
Okay, you have to understand, I'm far from a boomer. You know that, right? I don't even complain about things boomers complain about.
Yeah, I know, but like everybody calls you a boomer.
Shut up, though, but get it right.
And then you sit on the toilet for an hour and a half, and then you claim you're the busiest person in the world.
Yeah, but you have no idea how much work I get done on the toilet.
But then you say that you don't have time to like exercise and stuff when you're wasting time on the toilet.
You shut up. It's not wasting time. It's my time.
You could join him in the basement for a workout.
Yeah, like you want me to go to your basement with you and have a squat?
Ray been taking notes.
Yeah, I know. It's not cool, Ray.
Basement.
I've
Thank
been
you, Ray.
listening to the show for a long time. I know everything.
You got, oh, wow. You got a skipping rope down there with you?
I do, actually.
Good. Good. I'm going to need that.
Whoop your ass. Thank you, Ray.
Thanks, guys.
Later,
dude.
brother. What was the meal Maury
Concoction.
that your dad
Concoction.
That's right. I forgot about concoction.
What was concoction again?
Yeah, can you run down what concoction
I was going to jump in and say that because you guys all talking about chicken and whatnot. My dad, it was concoction.
That's right,
Which was
yes.
like usually rigatoni, ground beef, breadcrumbs, and other things that he could find, like, you know, maybe some cut up pieces of chicken. Like it was concoction.
Yeah.
You're concocting
Yeah.
a meal.
Yeah, it's like Maury's dad was like cooking for
kidney beans,
like Vikings after they got home from battle, right? Like you just take anything that died during the war and you just stick it all in a pot and boil it down.
I like concoction when he sometimes opened a can of, like, you know those like hot dogs that come in a can?
Yeah, like cocktail wieners.
Yeah, he'll put those in.
Yeah, why were they even in the house though?
Oh,
Like, why would you even have those in the home?
For concoction.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's
No,
super
because like
weird.
sometimes if a lady was coming over and he had to entertain, but
he needed to give them. He would serve them a little wiener
before the big
right before the big wiener.
Here's a preview,
Get them
girl.
used to get here. It was all part of his strategy. Get them used.
Oh my god. Yo. You were so lucky that Frank doesn't. Actually, no. You were so lucky that Donna, Frank, your stepmom, doesn't listen to this.
Listen, she's a good woman. She's a good woman. She knows.
She's a lucky woman.
Do your
She
brothers
knows.
listen to the podcast?
No, I tell them it costs a lot.
Sonia says here, what is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home?
Maury, you're the snooper, so why don't you go ahead?
My first answer was going to be plastic on couches. I've still seen that recently, but I also saw a sculpture once. Like it was like a ceramic sculpture of a jockey, like a lawn jockey that was also a lamp.
Like one of the racist lawn jockeys?
A race lawn jockey.
No, not a race lawn jockey. Lawn jockey.
Racist.
Like one of those racists, like garden jockeys.
Yes.
Oh.
But it was also a lamp.
Okay. Yeah. You don't see a lot of those anymore, huh?
No.
The black garden jockey?
No.
Right? Holding out the lantern?
Yeah.
Right?
Where did you see that, Mark?
Matthew's grandma's house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you still got grandmas,
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
She
You're
was
gonna
trying
find
to give it to him. She
Yeah.
was like, this is an antique. You should take it.
I'm happy I don't have grandmas anymore for that reason, man, because you would always stumble across something racist, you know, in the house, right? Just from like the years gone by, like a mammy doll that they picked up somewhere on vacation, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, for sure. And you got to like secretly try and, you know, rid the house of all that stuff. I was in somebody's house where, and it wasn't done in any sort of salacious way, but it was weird in the sense that it made you uncomfortable.
Okay.
Which was there were nudes of the couple on the wall of their own house.
No.
Like they did like tasteful nude shots
Like
where their
full
bodies
frontal or
where their
like
bodies were
sideways?
all intertwined with each other
like
and
John
stuff
Lennon
like
and
that.
Yoko Ono on the cover of
Yeah,
Rolling
but it's
Stone.
not John Lennon and Yoko Ono. It was like Doug and Susan.
Yeah.
Right?
Ain't nobody want to see that. that?
No. And so that was weird.
But why do
right?
I picture you staring at it and analyzing it for a
I did
long
not.
time?
I did not.
I think you would stare and analyze.
Yeah.
Well, it was black and white, wasn't it?
What's that?
It was probably black and white.
No, it actually wasn't.
You can't do a tasteful
No.
nude photo shoot without it being black and white.
Well, I agree with you, and theirs wasn't all that tasteful. I've seen stuff in people's homes where you suspect that it's there for sort of like nefarious or sexual reasons, kind of thing, right? You see one of those weird triangle pillows just alone, and I'm like, that's not for yoga.
Oh yeah, it's for something.
You know
else.
what I mean? That's for something. That's for something else.
Is it? I've seen a whip. That's not weird though.
No, it's not weird.
Like,
I've seen a lot of hand lotion on nightstands.
Oh,
but again, not weird, right?
I was at a guy's house once and he had like an urn full of condoms.
An urn?
What?
Like kind of like not like an ashes urn, but like
Like a fishbowl full of condoms?
No, but it was like for a vase of condoms.
Oh, wow, that's flashy.
A vase and an urn are two different things, bro. No, I remember you were talking recently. Remember that that little figurine? It was like a monk.
Oh, yeah, it was a monk, and he had a robe, and you push his head, and his penis popped out the front.
Not weird.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, what the hell? That was at one of my uncle's house.
Yeah.
My uncle's apartment, actually, in New York, and then he just thought it was hilarious. It was my dad's brother.
Yeah.
So then he ended up buying one for like all of his brothers.
Really, huh?
So we had that
I gotta
at
find
home.
one of those. I gotta find one of those.
My grandmother has a cup full of her teeth.
Gross.
Gross.
I've had like two people I know. Like I remember, like the first time I went to their houses, in their room they had one of those massive, not even a fish tank, like bigger, that had like rats and like iguanas and this. Like I can't remember what it is you call it, but it's basically a fish tank.
Yeah.
But it took up like half the room, and it had all these things that you would normally see like in a pet store.
Let me ask you this question: when you were young,
Yeah.
because I assumed everybody did this, but I haven't had this conversation, and I think that I might have been alone in this with the people that I hung out with. When you were young and you had a friend, and you were at your friend's house,
Yeah.
would you and your friend just like get up and go into their parents' room and just go through all their stuff?
No, I never did.
Oh yeah, all
You
the time.
never did.
Oh, you all the time?
I knew what kind of underpants all my friends' moms wore.
Really?
Yeah, because you would just do that. Like
Because
you would just
find
you would
cool
just
things in drawers.
Yeah, you would just be sitting around doing nothing, and they'd be like, "You want to go through my parents' room?" And you'd be like, "Cool." And then you'd go through and you just go through like all their business,
And
like
just look at
their
everything?
nightstands and like between the mattress and the box spring, and like you
Really?
would just find all their secrets. Like I knew
if I
all the
bleep-
secrets about my parents' friends,
If I bleep it, what would you
my
find
friends' parents.
in the nightstand and or in between the bed and the box spring?
Everything that you would think you would find, unlimited.
Yeah.
Like for like there was we found
What?
for yeah
No.
lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, you found everything.
I never did that.
Everything, no,
No.
booze,
never.
like booze, like tiny, like little airplane bottles of booze hidden around that the wife didn't even know about, like all that
Oh,
stuff,
wow.
all the secrets, yeah.
Cody asks here, would you rather your knee pits or elbow pits behave like armpits?
When you say behave, do you mean like growing hair and smelling?
That's what I assume.
Definitely knee
Because
pits.
well, what else would armpits do other than grow hair and smell?
Definitely knee pits, because the
Yeah.
worst it would get is you'd have two little sweaty circles on the back of your jeans.
Yeah. I think
Elbow
it's
pits are here, right?
way
Yeah.
more inconvenient.
Also, if people had big patches of hair right here on their elbow pits, that would be weird.
And do you have to put deodorant here?
Yeah, you would have
probably
to.
would.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
have to.
You'd
So
to put
you'd have
deodorant
to
there.
still put deodorant on your knees.
Behind your knees?
Like your knee pits.
I don't know. I think I'd probably
Maybe?
just let it go.
Would
But
you?
but I
No,
don't
but
want.
the smell would emanate.
That's the problem, is that you
Yeah.
don't want something smelling bad. Like right now, if you smell your pits, right?
Uh-huh.
It's above the way. It's an above the waist smell. So it's yeah, you stink, but it's not gross, right? It's not confusing. You know what that smell is.
Yes.
Because there's really not much else other than breath above the waist that would smell. If the backs of your knees started to smell, Okay. Okay. That's a below the waist smell. So if somebody got a whiff of that, they might think it's something else.
Yeah. Like coming from your butt.
They
yeah.
might be confused as to where that below the waist smell is coming from.
Okay, what about for this scenario, your knee pits, when they smelled like armpits?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying they would, but stink is stink though, right? Like different people smell different ways.
You would really smell anytime you bent down to tie up your shoes.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing if your butt smells, right?
Yeah.
Wafts up and
No,
I mean,
thanks.
it's never happened to me, but
So what are we agreeing on?
Knee pits.
yeah.
Kim says here, what happened? Oh, okay. So you don't travel for ET Canada anymore, Roz.
Well, I can't.
But when you used to have to travel and leave here and go to LA or New York or wherever, Kim asks this for that reason. What happens when Roz uses the airplane washroom? Does he still stay in there for a long time? And since he says he doesn't even use public washrooms, would he ever use the airplane one?
Like to go poo?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. You know, I don't think I have ever on an airplane.
No,
I
ever
have.
had to poo.
I have, and here's the problem: there's no water, like there's no pool of water there.
No.
So when you
what
go
do you need to
poo-
play? What do you want the pool like? What do you
No, but to sort of allow what comes out to sort of float a little bit as opposed to stick to the toilet.
Yeah. No, it's not a good scene at all. No, I've never gone number 2 on an airplane.
Yeah.
Never will go number 2 on. And I've been on some long flights. Like I took 3 planes over 16 hours to Russia, and I never went number 2 on a plane.
Here's the thing: when you do an early morning flight, though, and if you always go number 2 at a certain time, and you're on the plane at that time, your body's telling you gotta go.
I've done that countless times.
So
and
you
I've
just
never
hold it
gone.
in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's not for me.
Yeah,
it's
I
not,
couldn't do
It's not
it.
for me. And then when I do have to go pee, if I'm on like a big plane, like a 3-row, I don't usually have problems. But if I'm on any other normal sort of plane, right?
Yeah.
When I stand in the bathroom, my head is on an angle to where the roof is.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, and you know the thing about
Well,
airplane...
unless you squat down.
You can't. There's
No,
not
there's
like
no
there's no
room, man.
room.
No, I
There's
mean,
no room.
go in like kind of like you're doing a squat.
No, because you can't pee like that.
Yeah, no,
right?
you can't do that. And I don't know, like I could be wrong. Maybe I just never paid attention to airplane bathrooms before. But when you walk in, isn't it already like it's not a straight like rectangle? It's already the top part is already on an angle.
Yes.
Which for you being so tall, it would make it even more difficult.
Yes.
Just to stand there.
I think I have. Hold on here. I think I have a picture of me in an airplane.
You do.
bathroom.
You've posted it.
Did I? Here, I'll show it to
Inside of an
Mocha.
airplane bathroom?
Yeah, you put it on the Instagram.
Don't say the Instagram, Maury. You know it's just Instagram. It's
Maury,
weird
you know
when
what?
people
Maury
say that.
stalks so much. I bet you Maury knows the date. When did he post it?
It was 2 years ago.
Shut up. If you're right, Maury, you're fired. I'll tell you
Go back to
what.
2019.
I'll tell you what. Hold on here. No, it was longer than that. Oh yeah, look. Okay, there's a picture right there. First of all, it was 2015, Maury. September. September.
Okay, I was very wrong.
This is what I look like in an airplane bathroom.
Oh my God.
You look like the Bubba Duke.
Yeah, yo, you look like the Slender Man.
Right?
Legit.
See that, Shem? Look at that. That's me in an airplane bathroom.
God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You see that standing in front of you?
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Slender Man, absolutely.
And you know how like gross airplane bathrooms are, right? And you don't want to touch anything. Imagine being me where you go into one of those smaller airplane bathrooms and every part of me touches something.
Yeah.
Like my ear is touching the bathroom.
Yeah,
How
there's
do you
no
wash
avoiding
your
it.
hands
When
you're
does that
tilted?
ever happen? What's that?
How do you wash your hands when you're tilted?
When I'm tilted, when I go to wash my hands, like in a little plane like this, when I go to wash my hands, okay, my head, the back of my head is on the ceiling, okay? So I'm looking down at my feet, like I can't look at my face in the mirror.
Oh my, unless you try to bend.
Unless I bend back.
Yeah.
And then put my eyes forward. Right? And then I'm looking at my own nose. But like when I go into an airplane bathroom, every single, this is why they gross me out so much. Every single part of me touches the inside of an airplane bathroom.
So gross.
Right? Like every part of me.
Do you ever
my
regret
forehead
being so tall?
Regret? Like what? Like it was my choice? Like I wish I hadn't done that when I was a kid?
Okay, we'll end on this one. Reviews by Jules asks, what is Mocha's ideal first bromance date with Drake?
Oh, bro.
Okay, not that I've thought of this
Yes, you're such
in
a
the past,
liar. Yeah.
but we would kick it at his place, of course. Like he'd invite me over.
But are you wearing a special outfit?
I would probably, because I know he's a sneakerhead as well, I would probably break out the Jordan 4s that I have, the Mocha editions.
But are you wearing all OVO?
No, because I don't own any OVO.
Right.
Maybe while I'm there, he'll see, or it may come up in the conversation where he says, he asks or he finds out that I don't. And then like in a couple of weeks, I get this massive like delivery at the house of all OVO gear.
Right.
Right? That might happen.
Would you drive there yourself, or do you think that he would send somebody to pick you up?
No, I drive myself.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would probably play NBA 2K.
Like, is he into video games?
Of course he is.
Is he, though? Is he?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
I think that his friends would also be there because they're always there. So we'd all kick it as like one big crew.
Okay.
And we'd be drinking and we'd play video games and then maybe sit down and have some dinner, like wine and pasta.
Okay.
Although that's a pretty heavy meal. So maybe not that. Maybe we just have snacks.
Okay.
While we're playing video
Who's
games.
making dinner? Like his staff, or is he making dinner?
No, his staff.
Okay.
He's not giving them a night off.
No. I don't know. Maybe he likes to go out and work the grill
I
and
assume
stuff.
that he wants you to bring some Guyanese food to try.
No, he doesn't want me to bring anything. I'll be courteous and I'll bring like a bottle of wine or something.
Yeah.
Just to
okay.
be like, thanks for inviting me over to kick it.
Sure.
Well, he's got that big basketball court
You go and do that for a while?
on the property, so we may play some hoops.
Yeah. Would you ask him if you could take a bath?
No, I
No?
wouldn't. No, not at all.
You think that's weird?
Yeah.
I don't think it's weird in a place like that. I think if you walk in and see one of his many bathrooms that has a big, beautiful tub in it, I don't think it's weird at that point. It's not like you're asking to like take, to have a bath in his
If
bathroom.
I'm like, yo, we played this game like pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I assume he has like a change room, like with showers.
Like what if you? But there's a difference.
Oh, yeah,
There's a
true,
difference
true.
showering after a quick round of basketball,
Yeah.
and going and taking a bath in somebody
no,
else's
okay,
house.
no, I wouldn't take a bath.
You
I
wouldn't take a bath?
No.
Oh.
I'd do like a quick rinse.
Would you?
No, I
Yeah.
assume that he has a change room with a group shower. Like,
I would.
those, like,
No.
showers.
I think you would have to. I think you would have to. You fully take a bath
No, I would do.
to
I
really
would do
enjoy
a shower.
it. Yeah.
Okay, and then after basketball is when we all
Bath
have
time.
wine.
Oh,
and,
sorry.
No,
Yeah, sorry.
wine and pasta.
Okay.
And then of course he's got a studio in his place, so he'll be like, okay, I got to go do these songs real quick, and we'll hang out in the studio, maybe smoke a little weed, and record some songs. Oh, and then because he's got his own jet, Air Drake.
Wait, first of all, pause. You've not gone into his massive pool.
But he took a bath. That's the same thing.
No, but I would.
No, I took a shower.
Okay.
No, we're not doing full time. Not yet.
Before,
Not yet. Not
before
yet.
basketball, like when you arrive, he's already out by the pool, and you go and meet him.
Like if him and the guys were over by the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, so I got to bring trunks as
No,
well.
if you didn't bring trunks, you could just borrow a tiny pair of his. I'm sure.
One of his Speedos.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
No.
No, Drake's not a Speedo guy.
You don't think so?
No, he's like board shorts.
You don't know that though.
I think at the end of the night, he'd be like, yo, guys, because I feel like Drake would be spontaneous like this. Let's all get on Air Drake and let's go kick it for a few days in Vegas.
That's,
And
so
then
that's
we'd-
okay.
we'd
so
fly to Vegas.
This is now out of the spirit of the intended question. So what was read the question again?
What is Mocha's ideal first bromance date with Drake?
Right. So you've turned this into a 4-day affair.
Because things just happen like spontaneously.
Okay. And what? So you call your wife
Uh-huh.
and you say, Jenna, and how do you explain this to her?
I'm going to be like, listen, the guys were talking and Drake's going to fly us all there to Vegas for like 2 days. We're going to be staying at the Sky Suites at Aria, which is my
Yeah.
favorite hotel and casino.
Right.
And I'll be back like on Monday.
You think she'd be cool with it? I don't think you would. I honestly don't think you would. I think you would say no.
Would she be more okay with it if you didn't fly anywhere and you just spent the night? Like in the house?
Oh, like if I said, because I drove and I'll be like, babe, I'm so wasted right now.
Yeah.
Like we drank all this expensive champagne and wine.
Yeah. And she'd be like, Uber. We'll just go pick up your car
no,
tomorrow.
but Drake put out the air mattress.
Right.
Man, Drake got no air mattress. What, like OVO air mattress?
Yeah, you don't know that. You don't know.
No, you're right. I probably wouldn't go to Vegas.
You wouldn't go to Vegas.
No, I'd skip that one.
Yeah, you would be so worried. Like you would
I
be
would-
so worried.
I would say to
that
Drake.
because here's what my thing, right, is that I think that you would be worried because maybe you get yourself in a situation where his crew are ready to go hard. and they're ready to go hard at like a club, and there's women and there's all sorts of other things. And I don't know if you would put yourself in a position to be the guy who is saying no to all of these things.
Oh, right.
Because you would look like...
Well, I wouldn't put myself in that situation anyway.
This is why I think that you would say no to Vegas.
But knowing Jenna, she would not take this away from him. She would encourage him to do
You think that he could go and...
No, not that. But I could see you're saying you need to be there.
Okay, but what if you walk on the plane and it's suddenly like air orgy and Mocha's got to go sit with the pilot? You know what I mean? Like
you're not even. You say I had some bad clams. Not today.
You can't even have fun at
what
that
do you mean,
point,
not today?
right?
Bro, not today.
You know,
what
if that's what happens, right? Like, what if it just becomes like you get on the plane, like you don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what's happening on that plane.
What if the routine is you get on the plane and then it's, you can bleep this, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if it's like as soon as you get on the plane, like you don't know.
No, that's
and
not my style.
I just don't think that you would want to be the guy in the position to just saying no to all the stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
No, at that point, I'm locking myself in the OVO bathroom.
But if he leaves early, Drake's never going to invite him back again because it's like with a guy.
Oh, jeez. No, nobody said that word, Maury.
Jeez, Maury.
Well, yeah, like like what? Like the family man didn't want to you know what I mean? Like. Like nobody was using the P word.
Anyway, every week you'll see on Instagram @Kiss925 a picture that reads "Ask Roz Mocha." This is where we get the questions from. So feel free to ask away.
After you leave and after you go home, does Drake text you like, "Hey, that was fun"?
Yeah, he'd be like, "Yo, that was amazing. Like we had a great time. Like next time, you want to hang out, just shoot me a text."
Is he an emoji user?
Absolutely, he's an emoji user.
Interesting.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
Kiss925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.